we're back with another episode.
This episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler is sponsored by MyApothecary.com. My Apothecary is the premier online destination for hemp-derived CBD that will help you curate a wealthy lifestyle. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed during the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler podcast series are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent any specific employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. The primary purpose of this podcast series is to educate and inform. This podcast series does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services. And action.
And a one. And a two. This is going to be a horrible.
It is, because I'm like halfway loopy.
I know. Let's just get through it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Fleming and... What the hell? That's not the name of the show.
Do that again. Welcome.
Oh, Lord. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with your favorite co-hosts, Monica Fowler and Alyssa Fleming.
Don't confuse the people now. How are you? How was your week this past week, man?
Nothing stands out to me positively or negatively, so I'm gonna say that's a good week.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
Still stressed, still looking for a house, and what I would call the possible worst time to be looking for a house.
Oh, absolutely.
In American history.
Yeah.
Besides the Great Depression,
Definitely.
which is mildly stressful, but other than that, I'm chilling.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. What about you?
My week was going wonderful. I had celebrated my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday to you. How's 40 treating you?
I'm not 40. I'm 37. Oh, thank you very much. 37 was great up until Friday. Friday, as I'm, had a wonderful day, got my student out on time. I got to work on time. I'm leaving out of the little garagey area where I, anyway. And as I'm turning the corner, there's another car that has the same truck as mine, and they're turning to the left. I'm turning to the right.
Okay.
As I turn to get out, of course, there's a big wall that's there, and I'm trying not to crash into them. They're trying not to crash into me. I guess I was too close to the wall, and all of a sudden I heard crunch, 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 scream. So it looks like a goddamn Decepticon ate the shit out of the side of my car, and I'm like, oh, are you serious?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to freaking me. But I couldn't even get upset because I was just like, man, it is what it is. It's a car. As long as my car actually still runs and still works perfectly fine, I can't see the shit from the inside of it anyway, true. So who cares? But I am going to get it fixed. I'm not going to be one of those people that just walks around or drives around with a Decepticon tooth print just sitting there on the side of their car. And then I woke up Saturday not feeling very good, but then I started feeling good after I cleaned up a little bit. Then I took a nap, and then this morning, Sunday, I woke up and I sound like this. So I probably sound more like a man today, and a stuffed up man at that. I don't think it's corona. I haven't been coughing or anything. No productive cough. I did have a little bit of a fever, but took some Tylenol. Within 6 hours, it came back down to normal. Haven't had a fever since, but yeah. So this week was great up until the end. Sucks, but yeah.
You probably have allergies. The mold is super high. The pollen was high. It's been raining, which is kicking up.
Yeah, and then I did. I pressure washed my driveway, which that is not as easy as it looks. Oh my God. That took me like 4 hours just to do 2 big squares in my porch. And then I also got my grass cut finally. So I have freshly cut grass, and then I was cleaning up and, had all these products. So I really think it's like a combination of all of that stuff. I'm hoping that it is. And that it's just my allergies that are acting real stupid.
You need to blast your nasals.
I know. I need to get a humidifier and some snake plants for
snake plants.
They're good for cleaning your air and stuff, your respiratory system. Yeah, there are certain plants that are good for.
I have seen a Pinterest article about that, as I am an asthmatic, so I've looked into it.
Do you guys have any houseplants?
No, we'd kill it.
Jeez, all you gotta do is water it once a week.
Too much. I barely feed dogs.
The dog. Oh God, I'm calling the ASPCA on you. But yeah, other than that, my week was pretty good up until that point. So yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some things. We just got to start with the most ignorant of all.
Ariana Grande. Oh
no, I like her. Greg Abbott, ever heard of his stupid ass?
Oh.
He's the unfortunate governor of
Rolling with the homies.
What's his name of Texas? I voted for Beto O'Rourke.
What's the name of that place we live? That state? Ooh, tip of the tongue here.
I think Texas is just as bad as Florida when it comes to legislation. Like, it's just as freaking red. And
girl, we have to cut now. You don't even know what's going on. You didn't know Texas. You think we're blue.
No, you're not blue. Just 'cause Houston and Dallas may be blue. But San Antonio is not even blue.
San Antonio is blue.
No way.
Yeah. All the big cities in Texas are blue. There's just so many more
hick towns
that make us
very
red.
True. Yeah. It's Governor Abbott, who if you don't know, he's the only governor that's in a wheelchair. That many Texans would love the opportunity to just push his ass down a flight of stairs. Anyway, he signed into action that they are banning abortions and making it illegal to get an abortion, even as early as 6 weeks. Which we all know that when you most women don't even know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks. Like, they mostly find out sometimes double digits. You just don't know
when that shit starts kicking.
Exactly. So to ban it at 6 weeks is annoying. And then the kicker is that people who have women who have children that are confirmed to have, these very traumatizing, what do they call them? Genetic conditions or developmental conditions, they're not exempt. Or women who get raped and get pregnant, they're not exempt.
Incest isn't exempt. I think it's only health issues for the mom that is exempt. Some health issues, right?
Yeah. No, I don't even think that's exempt. Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I don't even think that's exempt.
I know incest and rape are not exempt. I think there are some health medical issues that are, but that doesn't matter. My thing is 6 weeks is nothing.
No,
because by 4 weeks you're thinking, oh, like maybe I am pregnant, right? Yeah. And then like maybe a week or two goes by, you're like, maybe I should take a test. Well, shit, you're out of luck. Ow.
You did just snatch that out of your ear. That's but even too, like, if you've never had a menstrual cycle, you don't get to tell women what their experience is with a menstrual cycle, right? So with some women, their menstrual cycle can flip. Let's say your menstrual starts at the beginning of the month, and then you may flip to the end of the month. It just depends on things you eat, environmental, blah blah blah, stress, whatever. Anything can delay your menstrual cycle. So the fact of this idea of 6 weeks is like, did you get any medical professionals to sign off on this or even say that even correlates with it? Like, why are we making medical bills and not involving medical professionals in these bills?
I hope y'all start mass producing Plan B.
No, I just hope they you know what's going to end up happening? Their daughters are going to start, well, that too, but their daughters are going to start having abortions back in the day with these fucking metal hangers and shit. And we're going to go right back to the old days.
I was watching Handmaid's Tale. It gave me horrible anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
It really does. Like, I don't know that I need to watch Handmaid's Tale because, again, if you don't have a uterus, you shouldn't get to tell women what. And you know what pissed me off too? When he signed that stupid bill, there were nothing but women behind him that were standing like, yes, take away our rights.
Even if you have a uterus, your uterus ain't my uterus.
No.
You don't have to wake up in the morning and do the shit I do.
You don't get to tell me what the hell I do with my damn uterus. Because even like this one guy on Twitter, his name is at the witty idiot. He said, stop abortion at the source. Vasectomies are reversible. Make every young man have one. When he's deemed financially and emotionally fit to be a father, it will be reversed.
It's the emotionally fit for me. Very true. Personally.
Then he said, what's that? Did the idea of regulating a man's body make you uncomfortable? Then mind your fucking business.
Thank you. Also, we've all seen the episode of The Office, snip, snap, snip, snap. Easy as pie.
Exactly.
Back and forth.
But I mean, even from a medical standpoint, like, it is so much easier and less invasive for a man to undergo a vasectomy that is reversible versus a woman undergoing a tubal ligation, like being put under to then have this invasive procedure. Like, no, they don't cut you and do a transverse abdominal, incision, but it's still very invasive and people can die from having a tubal.
It makes more sense to take the bullets out of the gun than putting everyone in a bulletproof vest.
Exactly. Girl, that's going to be the goddamn.
I'm preaching here today.
Listen, you better preach it, Alyssa. Preach it.
I'm just saying.
You better preach it.
It's insane. 6 weeks is nothing.
It's nothing.
I can't even remember 6 weeks ago, but I could probably, if I had to, be like, oh, that feels like it was just a couple weeks ago and it was 6 weeks ago.
Right. And I think everybody should have, like, I am completely pro-choice. Like, I don't have to, like, I was telling this story earlier at work.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. She has lived a life.
I'm not going to tell a full story, but I remember one of my former friends from, I won't say whether it was college or high school or middle school, whatever. A friend of mine from back in the day went to go get an abortion, and I drove with her. And of course, we go to this place, and of course, people are outside, save those babies, trying to convince the women to, like, you know, keep their kids or whatever. And
but do they think that's gonna work?
It never works.
There's no way you shouting at me on one of the most freaking traumatic days of my life is gonna make me keep the baby.
Like, if anything, you're gonna enrage me more.
Like, this world is crazy. Take this shit out of me right now.
Exactly. I don't want my child to grow up and be this ignorant person. But so we go in this little sketch place, and I was just like, I told my friend, I was like, bitch, you're going to die here. This place looks horrible.
Hey girl, I know you're really stressed right now, but we got to get the fuck.
Can we go to another one? Because you're going to die. It was like, you know how in grocery stores they put like the fruit at the front of the store, and it's always less lighting, but you feel like it's more because they put it right to the door, so you see, you know, all the lighting. But if you go to the grocery store at nighttime, it's so dim, so you won't see how rotten the fruit is. That's literally how this place looked. Like, the lighting was
You
so
buy fruit
low.
at Walmart, don't you?
Hell no. I had to go to H-E-B for that shit, or Costco. I do not shop. Hell no. Not unless Walmart Produce wants to sponsor us. And if we do, yes, I do. But hell no, I never buy no damn produce at Walmart. You'll die. But yeah, so we walk into this sketch place, and then of course she has to go and get this little counseling thing, and she just keeps telling the lady, "Listen, bitch, I'm convinced.
I said what I said.
Like, yeah, nothing you're going to tell me here today is going to convince me not to abort this child. Get rid of this shit. Where do I go to get on the table?" And she was like, I just kept telling the lady, I know what I'm doing. Let's fucking get rid of it already. You're wasting my time.
Of sound mind and body.
Exactly. So it was just a lot of stuff that happened. I mean, just the amount of people that were in there, some of the guys that were in there with, it was a whole experience. And I remember coming home.
I would love to just sit and watch, just people watch in the fucking waiting room.
Weirdest. And then you saw people you went to school with, you're like, I know why you here. And they looking at you like, you here for the same reason? No, I am not. But even
nothing against you, but fuck no, I'm not.
Exactly. But it's they make it so shameful. And even though I don't personally agree with people getting abortions, I will never tell a woman what she should do with her body, because I don't know, God forbid, if I were ever in their situation, that I would take the same pause. I would probably take the same pause.
It's that for me. You don't know what you'll do in a situation until you're in the situation.
Exactly. So how
am I going to sit here and talk some shit? I'd love to be on my righteous fucking horse. I'd never do that. I'd figure it out.
Exactly.
I thank my mom every Mother's Day that she didn't abort me. Yeah. How could I do that to my kid? My mom also worked her ass off so I wouldn't have to make that decision. Yeah. And that I could,
Definitely. Because even when I remember when I came home from that, my mom was like, where have you been all day? And I think I was like, I was home for some odd reason. Again, I'm not going to say what age I was. And so I was like, yeah, I want my friend to get an abortion. And she was like, what? What in the world? And I was just like, calm down. It's not your body. It literally is not your body. Like,
my mom loves to do the supportive shit, right? Like, she'd freak out and she'd be like, "Are they okay? Do they want to talk? Da 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 da. I can't believe it. I'm so supportive." And then as soon as they leave, she's like, "I swear to God, Alyssa, if you ever do some shit like that and don't tell me, I'll fucking kill you."
Because see, your mom, your mom is the type of mom that would be like, "Okay, if you don't want the baby, I'll take the baby."
She used to tell me that in high school.
Yeah,
she was like, "If you get pregnant in high school, I'm keeping the baby. You're going to college."
Yeah,
and my dumbass was like, "You can't keep my fucking." Illegitimate made up baby.
Will. She absolutely will. She's definitely see, my grandma is a kind of my mother is a type of grandmother. Even with my nephew, she's just like, "Oh, you're in town? Oh, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go out."
That's how my grandma was with my mom. She said, "I raised my kids. Now you can raise yours."
Exactly. Like my mom, she doesn't even like, as cute as she's, Liam is so cute and blah 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 blah. Ask her to go get him for a month. I mean, I would do it, but I still have this to do. So we're just like, yeah, okay, lady.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I
am pro vasectomy.
I am definitely pro vasectomy. Absolutely. Because it takes that procedure less than 30 minutes to snip your ball. They're not even touching your dingling.
But my thing is what is the word? The narrative has always been, you as a woman need to protect yourself. You need to be careful because these boys are out here running around and these boys will get you pregnant and you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Let's take back the night, ladies.
Exactly.
Snip, snap, snip, snap. Then it'll just be like, I would love in 20 years for parents everywhere to be like, okay, son, we have to sit down. These girls are running around here and they're crazy. They'll eat you up. They'll spit you out. And, there's nothing to hold them down because you just got a little wiener now with no gas.
Because the thing is, it's not the women that are having all these babies. It's the men that are making all these babies. Like, you got men that got 3 and 4, 5 baby mamas. And that one girl, that one woman may have one child with him.
Yeah. Also, when I'm pregnant, I'm out for 9 months. He's still around doing God knows what.
Exactly. And then even just the responsibility that the woman has even after the baby's born. You're the one that's getting up in the middle of the night. You're the one that's breastfeeding. You're the one that's doing all of this stuff. If the baby gets sick, you got to take off work. While this dude is at home sleeping with 4 and 5 other baby mamas. Like, are you kidding me?
Child support is. Did you see all those tweets that are like, if we want to start calling it a life after 6 weeks, I'm filing for child support at 6 weeks?
Hell yeah. I bet you then there'll be a lot more people strapping it up. Doggone it right. Like, that's stupid. I really want somebody to just push Greg Abbott down the stairs. Oh my God. I know that's wrong to say that because I'm a healthcare professional, but
it's not Greg Abbott. He's one person.
No, but he could change the world. He can't.
He can't.
He really can't. However,
it's one person, but there's like all these other people that okay this and clear it and make it happen.
And it's the dumbass women that are standing behind him in the picture like, yes, take our rights
and I'm
away.
like, we're finally at a time where people our age are like, no, I don't want to have kids. And I've been in a relationship for a long time, or I'm married and we've been married for years, but like, fuck them kids right now. We're still chilling and all of our friends are still chilling and we go to dog birthday parties every month.
Right.
And I feel like everyone's finally trying to get like financially stable and waiting to have kids and realizing like, maybe I don't want to have kids because this world is crazy and schools suck and
Yeah, because and
the government's just taking away our rights.
But even there's this like conspiracy that's going around, which actually doesn't sound very far fetched, but that because Gen Z they're really not having kids and they don't really want to have kids, that they fear that white people are becoming the minority, and that when they did the numbers, they were finding that even though they put these Planned Parenthoods in these low income areas and urban impoverished areas, that it was really a lot of these white kids that were going to get these abortions. And so they're like, oh, you're wiping us off the face of the earth, and Gen Z is not wanting to repopulate us. Oh no, so we're going to control everything.
No.
Exactly. My nose is fucking.
What I've never understood was how these red states, right? Yeah. Usually Republican, conservative, far right. If you are looking at a typical conservative Republican, like, this is what we stand for. These are the things we like, yada, yada. It's as little government intervention as possible, right? We want to do what we want to do. So it has never made sense to me that they are so pro life because that is government intervention.
Right.
I don't get it. Yeah. I mean, I get it that it's probably something, bigger to control mass populations.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. But if you're so, gung-ho for keeping the government out of your money and your banks and your businesses, keep them out of your daughter's bodies.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
Can't she be a good enough parent at home to where she will make the decision you want her to make because you've raised her with your ideals and you guys are a happy family and love each other? Not necessarily.
You'd think, but the thing is too, I think I think for me and like my friends, it was a little bit easier. Like, I remember there was a girl that got pregnant in middle school, and I think we were in the 7th grade when she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, it was just like, oh my God, the girls used to walk around with the big jackets zipped all the way up all the time, and you never saw their bodies and you knew they were pregnant. But it was only one in the 7th grade that I knew about. And when she was pregnant, it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe she's pregnant. Like, what is she going to do? Like, we're only in middle school. Oh my God, how can you be a parent at, 7th grade, blah, 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 blah. But even now, you have like, yes, there was a stigma with it, but at the same time, she was able to hide it in a way to a degree. Versus nowadays, you have social media, you have all of these other different things that are kind of out and about where people are more supportive. So that way, even if people made the decision to have children, how they say back in the day, out of wedlock, you having kids out of wedlock. Like, people doing that is not far fetched. Like, what's wrong with you don't necessarily have to be married to have a baby, right? Because the thing is, we as Christians, we always assume, I won't say we, but the Christian belief is that, you're not supposed to have this because the Bible says so. And I get what the Bible says, but let's be clear. Everyone does not worship God. Everyone is not a Christian. Everyone does not believe the Bible. So just because you think that for your child does not mean that is, extricated on everybody else in the whole entire world. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have kids outside of if your grandmother did it, your mother did it, whoever, it may just be the pattern in your family. But
I also could have sworn Jesus forgives.
That's what I'm saying.
Weird thing that I heard that I believed, don't know. So if that's your jam,
it's the forgiveness for
everyone.
Me.
And like, I also heard Jesus gave everyone free will.
Yes.
Crazy thing. So
definitely,
it's this whole thing of like, well, we're making this decision because people can't make this, whatever. Jesus didn't do that shit to you.
you're gonna have a lot of dead babies in these streets.
I just don't fucking get it.
And people are like, but then here's a crazy part though too. So you ban abortions, you make these women who don't want the kids have kids.
And have these kids have horrible fucking lives.
Right. And then they go in foster care systems, and then the foster care system loses them at some point in time. They have these traumatic lives, and then they grow up to potentially be criminals in society. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, they're going to be free labor because they're going to be in prison. Why even do shit like that?
Or these people who, you know, are unsafe or just having a lot of kids or abusing the system, whatever they're doing. Right. That's still welfare that they're going to claim. Your tax money is now paying for these kids that you wouldn't let these people who may have aborted them abort them.
You're perpetuating
so now you're
cycle.
Bitching again because of all these programs that you think are a waste or people are abusing.
Absolutely.
This makes no sense.
It doesn't. It's a stupid, these fucking governors, they're just fucking dumb. And it's all men. Worry about your own penis. You got Viagra out here. You got, what's the other one? Cialis, whatever the damn. Cialis. What I said? Cialis? Y'all, it's the medication for me. But still, I'm just like, worry about your own penis, your bat and balls.
No, loved what that guy said. I would love for men not to be able to procreate until they are financially and emotionally responsible.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Because even
Can you imagine your mom telling you, like, I couldn't abort you. I wish I would have. Like, oh, that's such a
parents say shit like that to their kids.
I know, but like now they'll have the law behind them. They literally could not do it.
It's insane because even Tracy Ellis Ross, she talked about the societal pressure to have to be married and have kids. Like, you know, Tracy Ellis Ross, who was a star of one of the stars of Girlfriends,
Blackish.
Ooh, she's a star of Blackish. She's hosted many award shows. The daughter of Diana Ross, and her coming from a big family where she has 5 or 6 siblings or something like that. So she's always used to being around family, and she has her nieces and nephews. And she was talking about how, there's always this societal pressure to be married and have kids. She's like, but at the same time, like, yes, that was my desire at a certain point, but at a certain point too, you have to learn how to be content, because the reality is that marriage is not for everybody, and having kids is not for everybody as well too. I have an aunt who is not married, and she still has a desire to get married, even at the age that she's at, you know what I mean? And she did everything right. She went to school, she got multiple degrees, had a great career. She had all of these different things that were going for her. It's still going for her. And marriage just wasn't in the cards for her at the particular time. And just because you want to get married there's a lot of women who want to put their careers first. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a career and have a life of comfortability without fucking kids. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that. Kids are beautiful, but they are a lot of goddamn work.
And a lot more money.
Yes, definitely. So
I just think in the last 5 years, especially, there's been this huge, even just like awareness. Like, I feel like we were talking about with sexual abuse, rape, harassment, and like everyone, there's more conversation about it now. And people, it used to be, oh, this does happen and we're going to address it. Now the story is, this happened to me and I will tell you about it. And I feel like it's the same thing with abortion. I cannot tell you in the last 5 years how many people I have talked to that have had abortions. I had no idea. But now there's just people are more open, people are more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And when people are talking about it more, other people are realizing this is an option for me. Yeah. People are doing this that I know, people that I respect, people that I never thought would do it. Right. And I do have options. And it's not going to be this horrible thing that, is going to change the rest of my life for the negative. It could be for you for the positive.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you even have people who are choosing not to have kids because they don't want to be a direct replica of their parents. Like, there's a lot of parents that are really fucked up out here in life. And what if they would have not had the scrutiny attached to getting an abortion that would have maybe prevented something like that from happening, where their own child is like, I don't want to be anything like my mom or anything like my dad, so I don't want to have any kids. Like, I think about the amount of trauma that's behind why a particular whole ass generation does not want to have children.
Transgenerational trauma. You know why? It's because we all grew up watching our parents be fucked up and watching shows about parents be fucked up, and we're like, you know what? Maybe we should be going to therapy. Maybe we should really unpack some of our shit before we bring someone else into the world, and then just download what we have into them without addressing it. So then they're not equipped to handle their shit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's on that, Greg Abbott. You can come sit on the couch. Let's talk.
Can he? Never mind.
I won't say that. I'll transfer him.
I hate you. Are you going to use a
gate belt? What do you think he's Cyborg?
He's definitely Maxis with a Cyborg.
He's probably got a Cyborg.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even want to be his physical therapist, piece of shit. I would just come to your house every day and just kick you in your fucking leg because you can't feel it. He's
Fall
such
recovery.
A bitch. He's such a baby. Oh, he fell again. God damn.
That darn Greg.
God damn it. I was going to say, I don't even know what kind of, because he's a spinal cord injury, right?
I swear a tree fell on him.
But he's a spinal cord injury? I wonder what level and if he can even still get it up.
That's where this is all stemming from.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, like just worry about your own body. Worry about your own body.
Does Greg Abbott have a vagus nerve? That's what I need.
Very true. Does he have a cremasteric reflex? Probably not.
He was paralyzed below the waist when an oak tree fell on him while he was jogging following a storm. Why would you jog right after a storm?
Because he's white.
Okay. He was at Tier Memorial Hermann.
Did they say what level he was paralyzed?
Steel rods implanted in his spine. Why does no one know the level?
I wonder if it's a complete or incomplete.
There's a lot of questions we have. So this is
he's
for Greg Abbott and Greg Abbott only. If you could,
Because does he have any kids? And I'm only saying, like, here's what I want to put a disclaimer. I am not making fun of a man who is disabled. I am not making fun of a man who is in a wheelchair. I'm literally saying this as a medical professional, trying to find out if he is a complete or incomplete spinal cord injury, because depending on if he is or not, he cannot, some spinal cord injury patients cannot, what's the proper word I'm looking for?
Get it up.
They cannot have an erection. Thank you. That's what I want to say.
First of all, he was jogging in River Oaks, rich. Second of all, he got $6 million in a lawsuit after that tree fell on him. Richer.
How did you, like, but that's your fault.
Did he sue Mother Nature?
That's like, who did you sue? The owner of the tree? What if they weren't even the ones that planted it? And your ass should not, that's just like them people in Florida. Of course they're in fucking Florida.
He was also my age, so that's fucking insane.
You should not be running after a storm, sir.
He sued the homeowner and the tree care company. Holy shit.
That's insane. No, sir, you shouldn't have been running past my property.
Dude.
It's because he's white. That's the only reason why. It's because he's white.
100%.
That's insane. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen. You ain't getting shit from me. I'm not the one who placed the tree, okay?
Injury level. Wow, a lot of people are asking this question.
Yeah, because somebody was saying, it was too, like some TikTok conspiracy saying that he's not even in a wheelchair, he's just doing that for sympathy or some shit. I was like, y'all are crazy. But that shows you how much people hate Greg Abbott. Well, I would say the millennials and Gen Z hate him.
I just feel like if you're a disabled person, shouldn't you be like,
there should be a
out
certain
here with a
understanding.
crusade, just fucking it up for disabled people?
You know what,
really going for it.
Maybe because he wasn't born disabled and he got that way on literally by an accident.
So now he's trying to prove to all his friends that he can be cool and normal too.
He literally
I won't let my
it.
daughters get abortions either, guys.
Yeah, he resents the fact that he's now in a wheelchair, which I mean anybody would, but I'm like, sir, you've been able to have a great political career as a result of that. Like, dude, just stop being an asshole. Anyway, all right, y'all, let's take a break and we'll hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back after the commercial break. This episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler is sponsored by MyApothecary.com. My Apothecary is the premier online destination for hemp-derived CBD that will help you curate a wealthy lifestyle.
CBD is one of many restorative compounds found in the cannabis plant. Its benefits include decreased pain, improved mood, decreased anxiety, and much more. Some of y'all know that I have crazy ADHD, so I'm heavily medicated at all times, and I've been taking CBD oil at night to kind of calm me down, get me ready for bed. 1010 would recommend.
Worried about regulations? The passing of the 2018 Farm Bill made hemp-derived CBD legal to sell and consume. So yes, CBD is 100% legal and perfect for every person of legal age. My Apothecary's featured line, Broad Bloom, offers broad-spectrum CBD oil drops, sports cream, and soft gels. These products have no THC, so you can stay fly without the high or zen without the spin. Shop now at www.myapothecary.com and sign up for their newsletter to get exclusive offers, product releases, and CBD news.
Remember to always check with your healthcare provider before consuming any supplement. You must be 21 to purchase and consume, and shipping is only available in the US of A.
Don't forget to shop at www.myapothecary.com. All right, so we're back from the break. So yeah,
B from the B.
What? President Biden actually no, that's not what I'm talking about. What was my other one?
Nope, he didn't do that. Rewind.
So Joe Biden actually is inviting George Floyd's family to the White House on the 1 year anniversary of his death. And I really want people to stop saying that George Floyd died, because he didn't. He was murdered.
He did technically die from
No.
murder. He died from being murdered.
He definitely was murdered. He did not die.
He murdered and
This
he
was
is dead.
And then even like Nancy Pelosi was like, we want to thank George Floyd for his sacrifice. I'm sorry.
I don't think he really was aware of that.
I think the man went there trying to buy something from the corner store and thought nothing was going to happen to his actual life. So it's not a sacrifice.
I'm not a dictionary, but I could have sworn that the word sacrifice means that you're surrendering.
Voluntary.
Yeah, which means you have knowledge of what's happening and you're offering that.
Exactly. So yeah.
I don't think it's a sacrifice. I think he was
a catalyst.
Yeah, martyr isn't even the right word.
No, because even Trayvon Martin, as unfortunate as that situation was, and justice has not been served for Trayvon Martin, he was a catalyst.
Second question, why is he hosting them at the White House? Like, hey, I'm sorry that your son was murdered horrifically. It was broadcast everywhere and it started this huge social and cultural movement. Come and stay at my white ass house with this white ass staff for a couple days.
Yeah, he's trying to, I guess, increase the black presence because he wants us to forget that he took away or he basically reneged on giving us student loan forgiveness because he took that out of
how
the
about
newest
you
bill.
hire a lot more black people or fucking release a bunch of black people from jail that don't deserve to be there, or start working on programs in urban areas, or I don't know.
But here's the thing also too. How about you formally sign a bill for a black crime bill as opposed to formally signing an anti-Asian hate crime bill?
Oh, he did do that, huh?
I'm just like, so you invite black people to the White House, but you sign a bill for Asians. And I'm not saying that the Asian bill doesn't need to be in place because it absolutely does. However, you're inviting a black man that was like his family that was literally murdered in the streets on the from the hands of a white cop. Like,
what about changing the name of the White House to just the House?
Let's just burn it all down. Just burn it all down.
The other day, my mom, we were looking at houses, and she was like, "I love these plantation style shutters," and I was like, "Oh no,
you fucking racist!"
I was like, "We have to take them out." She's like, "What? That's what they're called?" And I was like, not here."
First of all, I don't know how much I would love to like play with if I had a white mom and I was half black. I would absolutely play racist jokes on her all the time. Do you do that all the time?
It's only fun in front of people who don't know
that's your mom. Well, I think everybody knows that's your mom because y'all look just alike.
No, yeah, but it's only fun to do it in front of people who we're comfortable with but aren't super familiar with us.
Gotcha.
So they'll be like, "I cannot believe you just locked the door because those black people walked by." She's like, "I didn't lock the door because the black people walked by. I'm locking the doors because I'm not locked. It's just so rude. Like, I'm black. Do you understand?" People are like, "Oh my God."
Like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she did that." I would absolutely love to torture my mom like that if she were white. That would be so funny.
It's literally one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, she hates it.
I would definitely love that. That's hilarious. Also, too, in the news, let's give it up for our girl Simone Biles.
Dude, she stays stepping on necks.
First of all, I'm like, for some reason, I thought she was no longer doing gymnastics only because nobody has really been talking about it. And maybe because we've been in a bubble of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And even when, what's her name? Gabby.
Have you watched the Gabby Douglas story?
On Lifetime?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Is there a Simone Biles story? Because I feel like Simone is more popping than Gabby. True or false?
She is to a degree just because she's I think achieving more in a shorter amount of time than what Gabby did. And I think Gabby like kind of made, she committed a cardinal sin where she basically got blackballed to a degree because they said that, she was like, her attitude was wrong because Simone Biles was like the new and upcoming black gymnast.
Some Megan Thee Stallion Cardi B shit.
Yeah. And so, but the fact that they actually do seriously get along, and it was the media that were trying to turn against her and say, she didn't smile and she didn't put her hand on the chest for the national anthem and all this bullshit. It was like really petty stuff. And Gabby was just like, "Bitch, y'all have talked about me from the fucking first day that I came out here. Y'all, I called myself a squirrel. Y'all talked about that shit. You talked about my goddamn hair. I got my hair fixed. You want to talk about every goddamn thing. I can't do shit right." So it was just ridiculous. But anyway, Simone Biles actually yesterday, May the 22nd, she is the first woman in history to land a Yurchenko double pike in competition, which has only been historically performed by men and has not been attempted by women. And she actually nailed that shit.
Because here's what they failed to realize. Black people were bred for power.
It's very true.
And those little girls, they're small, they're short, but they're fucking jacked.
Yeah.
And they're jacked in a way that I feel like females of other races just can't be as fucking jacked.
No, I just think too.
I don't know, like statistically, scientifically, biologically how sound that theory is, but I'd ride on it.
Yeah,
I'd ride it to the bank.
I think it's a pretty good theory. I think also too, I don't like to watch gymnastics anymore since I became a PT because of all the pounding and all I see are potential injuries and like compound fractures. And I'm just like even with football, I can't even enjoy football anymore because even when they do like the playbacks, the instant replays and they slow them down and you see somebody's knee getting blown out and I'm just like, can you not show that? Can you please?
Dude, do you know who Tom Segura is?
Tom Segura. That name sounds very familiar.
Anyway, don't worry about it. He got hurt playing basketball and they were recording it because they were filming some stuff. He was playing basketball with his friends. He went for a layup and his knee just popped. He came down, arm back. It was, ooh.
That's even like that guy from Arizona who played for, it was Arizona University or University of Arizona that one year where he came down for a layup and his whole fucking tibia just broke in half and came out of his skin. And I was just like, they're like, yo, did you see the replay? Stop sending me that shit. I'm a physical therapist. Don't send me shit like that. I don't want to see it. Like, I hated it. But anyway, shouts out to Simone Biles for
here's the thing.
History.
You know what's shitty is that whenever I look at the things gymnasts do, I'm like, is that hard? I feel like you've done harder things.
It doesn't look difficult, but here's the thing. My fat ass has never done a backflip. I can only do cartwheels.
One of those things where like in ice skating, I think it's the same thing where like doing a flip or spin a certain number of times is easy, but adding one or subtracting one makes it really difficult.
Oh yeah.
Just because of how fast you're going and all of that shit. So maybe it's something to do with that.
Definitely. Yeah, I would definitely say that's probably very difficult. It didn't look, I was like, what? I feel like she did way more stuff that was way more advanced than just Yurchenko Pike. But again, I'm not a gymnast. I only do cartwheels. I've never done a backflip. I don't even do front flips, even when I'm swimming and weightless. So
I mean, I was a cheerleader in 8th grade, so I feel like I can speak to this. And
did you stunt?
Oh yeah, I was a base. I had big ass legs at the bottom.
Oh, that's true.
Could not flip for shit though.
No, because your base is too wide.
Yeah, and my mom used to scare me when I was little and tell me I would break my neck if I flipped, like on the couch doing somersaults. And
that was just her way to get you to stop.
Oh, 100%. But now I have PTSD and
definitely
I'm going to break my neck.
So did you hear that Microsoft is actually retiring the Internet Explorer web browser?
And thank God. About goddamn time.
We use it at work every day, ma'am.
I don't think that's accurate for myself.
Well,
I use Chrome. Why is everything Chrome?
Well, what are they going to use? It's Microsoft. It's like
because they need to get us
Explorer.
Apple computers at work anyway, so this is just the jump we needed.
Well, that's true. The thing is, I'm talking about Internet Explorer, and I have nothing but Mac.
Yeah, you don't even use it. Yeah, no.
I think I have like
no one uses Internet Explorer.
2 Windows computers or laptops, but they were from PT school, and I have not opened them in years.
The second, only people over like 50 use Internet Explorer, and the second I see someone like their mouse going to that browser and double clicking, I already know it's going to take us double the time. I'm already pissed off, and I'm like, Internet Explorer is for old people. Also, did you see Bill Gates was cheating on Melinda?
Yes, I did.
Bro.
And she's asking for $10 million more a piece for their kids.
As she fucking should.
Their trust. Yes.
As she fucking should.
I can't believe he cheated. How dare you, Bill? We were all rooting for you.
Probably with some like basic ass bitch.
Probably like an intern.
It's either like some Monica Lewinsky shit.
Yes.
I feel like it's either some basic ass bitch or some hot girl he thought he could never get, and now he's rich. And
I bet you he got her pregnant. How much you want to bet he got her pregnant?
Ooh, and she couldn't abort it because it was after 6 weeks, and she lives in Texas.
God damn it. It's
Bill
all
would fly her
conspiracy.
private to New Mexico, though. She'd get that shit fucking.
Let me tell you something. Bill Gates, if that girl did get pregnant, whoever he allegedly cheated with, let me tell you something. All he gonna do is get that baby a vaccine, and that baby gonna be wiped out. Okay, it's already conspiracies that he done put this vaccine in place because he's bored.
2 calls, maybe even 1. He'd have it taken care of.
He'd definitely be like, "Oh, this bitch is going missing." That's why you don't know her name yet. Mm-hmm. Bill Gates done killed her allegedly.
I've listened to too many podcasts about too many young girls fucking with senators and shit, turning up pregnant and then not turning up ever again.
Pretty much they go away forever. Mm-hmm. Who are also in better news.
Oh my God. So he's getting a divorce and Internet Explorer is done.
Yeah. Microsoft is falling. It's not. Microsoft would never fall because that's like the basis of everything. But yeah, that's horrible. Melinda, what's her name? Melinda.
I like Belinda. But her name is Melinda.
Melinda Gates. Melinda, get your money, girl. Get
that bread.
This man.
Get that head.
Listen,
and leave.
You done supported this man when he was nothing.
Nothing.
And he gonna try you like that with an alleged intern? Take him for everything. Take all his money, Belinda. Take it all. gonna start calling her Belinda.
Take your money, make a new internet browser that's better than Chrome and Safari combined, and fucking kick his ass.
How about we change Microsoft to Melinda? Melinda Office Suite, Melinda PowerPoint, Melinda Word, Melinda Access, Melinda Outlook. How about that? It's still an M. I say put your name on everything. Don't take none of his money. Put your name on all of it. Mm-hmm. So every time he open up Melinda Explorer, every time he open it up, he's reminded of you, Melinda.
And don't even worry about paying us for this advice. It's free, honey. Take it.
Okay, it's not free. If you pay off my student loans, you can have it. But if not, then I'm
drop
taking you to
in the
court.
bucket. What's a couple $100,000?
I'm coming after you. $1.8 billion. But in other news, Israel and Palestine, the militant groups have agreed to a ceasefire after 11 days of deadly violence. There's an estimated 232 Palestinians that have died from these airstrikes, and an estimated 12 people that have died in Israel. 65 children. Jesus. And 2 children in Israel. My Lord. Oh my God.
Have you seen the videos of all those people, like when the airstrikes happen, of them having to run out?
Yes. And he's like, I saw this one video of this little kid. He had to be no more than like 3 or 4. And he was just sitting in this doctor's office, this makeshift doctor's office. And he was just in shock. Like his eyes were bugged. He could not move. He could not talk. He just stared off like he was deathly afraid of whatever he saw. I'm just like, oh,
have you seen Chronicles of Narnia?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have seen it.
Wow. Okay, good. Or like Peter Pan. That when people say war to me, like being in a war zone, like that is all that I can actually fucking think of. Like
Chronicles of Narnia?
Like, you know how they're in the war and they have to run out, or like, you know, that's all I can think of because it's not real to me. I'm like, that's an old thing that no one has to go through. Mm-hmm. So this is crazy.
Yeah, I remember
that's my only war reference.
What, did you say horror or war?
Horror. That's my only war reference.
Because I remember even when my uncles, they both fought in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. And that was back in the, I want to say early 90s it was. And I remember when they went to war, my mom and I, or my mom, my sisters and my dad, we all like would pray for them every day and like bring them home safely from this war and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, Desert Storm, Desert Shield was a very quick war. I think it was only like a couple days. I mean, even, you know, family members that I know that have gone over to Afghanistan and stuff like that, and friends that I know who've gone over to Afghanistan, it still doesn't resonate with you because you have no, it doesn't impact you because you're sleeping comfortably in your bed.
When's the last time we had war at home? World War II?
I mean, even 9/11 wasn't necessarily war. It was a terrorist attack on our soil, but it wasn't a war where this is going on every day. Like the planes hit those Twin Towers, and that night it was just like horrible, but it wasn't continuous shooting, continuous bombing. There was none of that. So that's
what it is for me. I have no reference for war at home because I've never had to fucking deal with that.
Exactly. Thank God. Yeah.
But it's insane to me that that's still, so it's crazy to me that still happens and people are dealing with that.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I just hope that they, finish that and not necessarily finish it, but that this ceases like for real.
Can't they just like hug it out?
I doubt it.
Probably not. It's been going on for hundreds of years.
Way too long. We
need to break bread, have a shot.
Yeah. So let's talk about this housing market because you have a great story about this housing market recently.
This market, excuse me, I'm tired even thinking about it. This market is insane.
It's absolutely insane. Would you like to tell the people what you've been trying to do?
Buy a fucking house.
Yeah.
Not working people don't do it. So in December, as I've mentioned multiple times on this podcast because it's the bane of my fucking existence.
Right.
I moved home because my apartment lease was ending and my mom bamboozled me into buying a house. She was like, just come home, stay for a couple months, save your money, and then buy a house. I said, cool. Little did I know that was everybody else's idea too because interest rates are low as fuck. So everyone's getting pre-approved for houses. Everyone's looking for a house. People after COVID and all the shit California is doing with the, what are those laws called? Homestay? With all the squatters laws and things going on with California and the way they treated small businesses and the way the economy was wrecked during COVID. A lot of people from California are moving to Texas. So the housing market is in this bubble, which is insane. All of the prices are astronomical and it is extremely hard to get a house. I'm bidding I'm putting offers on homes that are $20,000 above asking and I'm still not getting it. I'm reading stuff online that people from Philly are bidding like $50,000 above asking. They're not getting it because someone came and offered $400 above asking, $400,000 above asking.
If you can afford $400 over asking, just build your own house. Jesus.
But it's insane, dude. And that, so like if you filter in San Antonio, you know how like when you're on a real estate app,
Yeah.
it shows you a limited section if you can zoom in or out. If you're on a specific area, right, that's heavily populated, it has a lot of homes for sale, and you filter it to be less than $300,000, there's like 12 homes that pop up.
That is insane.
And inside the city, outside there's more, and like downtown, and you know. So yeah, it's been a fun, adventurous time trying to buy a house in 2021.
Yeah. I got in when I bought my house in 2017. And when I bought my house, it was a buyer's and a seller's market. And I think it was more of a buyer's market, honestly. When I bought my home, the people undersold my home by $40,000 because they were military and trying to get out. Myself and 7 other people put offers on this home. And I wrote a letter to them and was like, hey, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And they accepted my offer, which I think all of us put the same thing down for my house. And they ended up choosing me. So I went off without a hitch versus, you know, at the time where I was working, which is not where I'm working now, one of the couple that I knew who actually put ceiling fans in my whole house. Anyway, they bidded, I think on like, they bid on like multiple homes and went through this whole cat and mouse game of it looks like it's going to be accepted, then it's not going to be accepted, and then when they do the inspection, then it's not right and everything. Versus with me, like there were a lot of different homes outside, but I'm way outside the loop here. So I think that was one of the reasons why. But even there's like 4 houses on my block right now that are selling houses.
Everyone's selling
they're going
them
for like $100,000 more than what they were, you know, the last person who bought it a couple
People
of years.
are just selling because they know they can make so much money right
Yeah.
now. My mom bought our house for $92,000 in like 2007. Jesus Christ, 2007. The house, there's 3 houses for sale the street directly behind us. One is $300,000, one is $327,000, and one is $400,000.
That's insane.
Insane. So people right now are just like, well, shit, we don't even have to fix the house up. We can still almost make that.
Yeah.
If it's not updated, let's just get out and get something else.
Right. And I think too, the reason why why they're predicting that the housing market is going to crash is because people who are offering all this money cannot afford it. They just want to get a house. And I'm like, this is not the time to get a house when the market is like this, because you're going to, the more people that keep buying, they're going to cause it to crash. And what's going to happen is in a couple of years, you cannot afford the house and it's going to foreclose. And then the bank is going to buy it and they're going to sell it to somebody else for like $200,000, $180,000. And then you're going to be foreclosed and out of a house. So it's like, just rent until the market calms down a bit, because you're offering, if you offer $100,000 more, like, do you know how much your fucking monthly payment is going to be?
Dude.
Like, what?
Well, and the problem is, so I hear all these stories of people doing that, right? But if you, every time I come here,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
fucking
wheezing.
If you offer $400,000 over asking, and the bank comes and appraises that house, and it's
Yeah.
not $400,000 over what they're asking, they're gonna ask you to make that up.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I'm now paying $400,000 of my own money.
Yep.
To buy this house that maybe was worth 400. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, and then you have to renovate if you have to renovate.
Yeah,
And then if something, you know, comes back egregious with the actual property, then you got to pay more money to fix that just to get that house. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's freaking stupid.
But also people are coming, listen, so like right now for a decent sized updated home in San Antonio, you're looking at like $350,000, $400,000,
Yeah.
right? That's nothing if you're coming from California.
No, even
Because
from Florida.
that same house there would be $700,000-$800,000.
Exactly.
So the issue is people are moving in San Antonio, right? It's like a house for a house. A
Right.
family's moving out of one house into another, but no one's leaving town. But there's also
No.
those people from California coming in and taking up the houses. So there's no fucking houses.
No, because even the rental market is kind of going a little crazy too, because, you know, these people that are selling their houses and getting the good equity out of it, they're trying to move into these apartments. And it's like, to be honest with you, it's very hard to try to go back from a house to an apartment. Like the apartment I lived in before I bought my house was a 1-bedroom, but it was multi-level and it had a garage attached to it. So I didn't really hear a whole bunch of crap from my neighbors. I did hear my neighbors' kids running up and down the stairs at points, but the stairs were downstairs. They weren't upstairs. So once I was in, it felt very secluded. But even now, you go to these apartments and you're just like, all this crazy stuff happening. You're like, I need my own land.
Especially now that so many people are working from home.
Yes.
And it's like in San Antonio, it's like $1,900 for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Which is insane. That's very much like Florida.
Exactly. So why am I going to pay that much when I could just have a house?
Yep. Exactly. And that's the thing. The housing market is definitely on its way to crashing if it keeps going in
I
this
need
direction.
to watch The Big Short and just
yeah, because he's predicting that it's going to happen again. He's also predicting with regard to everything that's going on with cryptocurrency and Elon Musk and everything that he's doing. I mean, there was this one issue that happened with this one Bitcoin, it was this one Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, not necessarily Bitcoin. But some people made this coin and people invested $32 million.
Oh, I did see that.
And it was all a scam. And when you go back on the website, literally there's a message that says this is all a scam and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm like, bitch.
Have you watched that Money short docu-series thing on Netflix?
About the cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. It's like 4 or 5 episodes. They talk about loans, gambling, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But one of them is on scams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're telling people to be very careful with all these different cryptocurrencies that are coming up and, only buying the more popular ones that are certified and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I bought cryptocurrency, but I only did it off of a whim. I didn't do it because I really understand cryptocurrency. I was like, oh, this is like
just get on TikTok like everybody else.
0.00001 cent. I could do that. Let me just get 500 shares of this.
I'm a millionaire.
Exactly. So it's insane. But yeah, the housing market... Stay with your mom as long as you
needless
can.
to say, put another offer on another house. So hopefully all goes to plan. My first house, the offer was, I put an offer on one house that I went 20 over asking.
Yeah.
It was immediately declined. They said, no.
Fuck you, bitch.
I was like, okay, bet, cool. The second house, I put an offer, they accepted. And when I got the inspection, there were some issues with the foundation that I didn't feel prepared to.
Yeah, no, that's the foundational issues. Don't get it.
Yeah. So this is now the third house I put an offer on. We shall see how it goes.
How much did you put over asking? Don't say 100,000.
No.
Oh, okay.
I would never.
Okay, cool. All right. Well,
it's something that wouldn't fly, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Nothing that I can't afford.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest fear is buying. I would never buy something I couldn't afford.
Yeah, no. That's why I was like, when I bought my house, I was like, here's what my mortgage payment will not be more than.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying more than I was paying for rent. Because if I am, there's no point in me even getting
exactly.
it. You know what I wish I would have done though? And I tell people all the time and people laugh at me. I wish that I would have taken the loan money that I got from my bank and bought some land.
My God, if I have to hear this one more time.
She's the main person because I keep telling her to do this. I would have bought about 5 acres of land, 5 or 10. And I would have bought one of those little $12,000 2-story sheds from Home Depot, put it on the land, and take the rest of the money to build the big house. That's exactly what I would have done. That's what I would have. And then I would have rented out the little tiny house for Airbnbs. See?
God. Y'all, I hear this probably about 2 times a week.
That's right. But she won't take my advice. It's fine.
No, I'm like, I'm going to buy a $900,000 home that I can't afford. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I said, if you foreclose on that house, you could not come and stay at my house. Nope.
Literally.
We cool. We ain't that cool.
I don't know if you know this, but I have really bad anxiety. And so.
Really? No, not you.
I'll be fine and cool, right? Like I'm making all these moves. I forget that like in the grand scheme of things, I'm still young, right? Like I'm 27. I'm trying to buy a house, whatever. But I'm just
You're not
like
27 yet.
I'm 27 in 2 days.
2 days
when this episode comes out. I'm 26, trying to buy a house.
Yeah.
And that's really young if you think about it. So then I start looking at all these numbers and loan terms and all of this shit, and I'm like, this is insane. This is a huge amount of money. This is a long time. There's so many, and I start I had a multiple full-on panic attacks.
Yeah.
And my mom is like, listen, bitch, if everything goes horribly, you rent it, you Airbnb it, you fucking sell it, and you're already gonna make money because of the fucking way things are going.
You're in military town, USA.
Yeah, she was like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, it'll be okay. But it's just, everyone's like, it's easy, just buy a house. It's not.
No, it's not. Listen, wait till you get in that office and you start signing all them 100 documents and you just like, I can't read all this. And they be like, well, this was this and this is that. And they start explaining. You're like, please let them be honest as I'm signing my life away. When I signed for that stuff, my realtor was like, I'm going to walk you through this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is giving me a headache. And I just sign right there. And I was like, Jesus, please, Lord, let this be a good idea. Because, oh, Lord, if it's not, let the pen break or let it run out of ink or something. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I'm trying to let go and let God. I know I will be where I'm supposed to be, but I'm just also very like, I want things how and when I want them.
Right. Understandable.
And that's not happening for me.
Yeah.
So really learning a lot. I'm like, what does Kylie Jenner say? She's like, I'm realizing things. This is the year of realizing things.
Interesting.
Ever heard that?
It's very different when you take advice from Kylie Jenner.
I'm not saying I'm taking advice from Kylie Jenner. I would. She's a billionaire. But.
Yeah, she's a billionaire on the backs of her sister having a dick in her mouth.
On the backs of black people.
Very true.
Literally.
Or maybe
The fronts and
maybe
back
she was on her back and the black man was on her. I don't know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Did you hear her and Travis are in an open relationship and she's pissed because,
That's not true.
yeah.
Well, what was happening? What's the controversy with her lying? With her something with tequila or something like that? Some ad that she did?
That's the other sister, Kendall. Oh, ow.
Wait, Kendall was the one who did? Oh, Jesus. That makes it even
Kendall
worse.
has made her own tequila brand, and it's not her own tequila company. It's like it's just another celebrity tequila. Like
Yeah,
there's only
yeah.
a couple tequila distilleries. They slap a sticker on it. This is the celebrity.
Exactly.
So she is all about this tequila. The bottle is in Spanish kind of, but the Spanish is all jacked, which doesn't make sense. Anyway, she just did her big launch, right? So they had all the media for it. And it's like her on this horse with hair braided in Mexico, riding in these like agave fields, and these Mexican farmers are out there farming, and everyone's like, bitch, what the fuck?
Read the room, Kendall.
It's literally, everyone's like, you were literally sitting in an office in Calabasas sipping tequila trying to test and figure out what you wanted. You were not in the fields with these people.
Oh my God.
They put like this weird dark blue filter over everything. So now all these people who have like degrees in cinematography and shit are like, they're like, media keeps doing this to like poor, quote unquote, poor countries or with brown people.
Yeah.
They put this filter and it makes people with darker skin look very, their future's very dark and scary, and it's trying to make this seem like a different world or a negative presence. So they're all coming for her neck.
Yeah, that's the same thing we were talking about with the whole Vogue shoot with Simone Biles. Was it Ann Leibovitz?
That sounds
familiar.
Yeah,
I think it's Ann Leibovitz from Vogue, and she was the photographer for Simone Biles, and the color scheme that she used, it made Simone Biles look horrible, ashy, dusty, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And then Issa Rae was photographed, as well as Viola Davis for Vogue, and both of them looked absolutely amazing, but they were photographed by black photographers versus Ann Leibovitz being, this white photographer and just being so out of touch with fucking people.
But I'm sorry, people are people. Your job is to photograph human beings,
right, and to
make
understand.
them look their best. So like, it shouldn't matter if they have darker skin or lighter skin or whatever.
It's just like a hairstylist. When you go to cosmetology school, you have to learn how to do black, white,
I agree.
Native American hair. You have to learn how to do it all. And I'm like, you should not just pigeonhole yourself to, well, your hair is just way too kinky.
Wouldn't you want to be good at everyone's hair? So no matter who sits in your chair,
exactly,
that would be like us not being able to work with people over 400 pounds.
Even though we would love to.
Even though I would love to put that stipulation, but you can't. People are people. You don't know who you're going to end up with, so you have to be ready, prepared, and
very true.
Knowledgeable with everything.
Yeah, and you just got to suck it up. You got to
suck it up.
Yeah, I want the Kardashians to just be quiet for a while. Let's just work on just being silent for a while and not doing any business ventures. I think I think social media just needs a break from these people, because but the thing is, they one thing I can give them, they have smart marketing tactics. They keep doing controversial shit, and people keep talking about it.
Remember Kendall's fucking Pepsi commercial with the protests?
Oh, God.
When she walked up to the cop and it was...
Didn't she give him a kiss on the cheek or something like that?
She took the fucking Pepsi from him.
That's so... I can't.
And everyone was like, Kendall, read the fucking room.
Read the room. Jesus.
Yo, but like, who on her team told her? It's Chris. It had to be Chris. Who told her that was a good idea?
That's definitely Chris. That's nobody but... She's the mastermind. That woman is... Listen... She flipped her daughter having a sex tape into being a billionaire.
That's true.
Like, this lady knows she was not just sitting back watching her husband be a lawyer. She was not just a housewife. Clearly, because look at their what do they call them? Not domain, but their you know what I mean. Their family structure, whatever. Yeah. Dominion, something. It was something, another kind of word I was trying to look for. It's totally
words are hard today. Don't worry about
their
it.
legacy. What else is happening in the social media?
Ariana Grande got married. Congrats, girly.
Congratulations. How long has she been with her boyfriend?
I think she's been with him for about a year. All during quarantine, they've been together, boot up. He he literally looks like a child.
She does too.
She does look like a child. You're right.
So what's the lowest age that you would be? I'm not sorry. The lowest age. What's the lowest amount of time after knowing somebody that you would be willing to get married to them?
How rich are they?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
They can financially take care of themselves.
Plus me? They
can financially take care of themselves.
2 years.
2 years? Mm-hmm. Damn. You want to be with somebody for 2 years? Maybe
Yeah.
because you're 26. That's why.
26.
Listen, 30 days, bitch. 30 days.
That's what I'm
Still.
saying. If it's a Bill Gates situation, 30 days, let me let it rock.
2 hours.
Vegas
Bill
style,
Gates,
let's fucking do
2
it.
hours. Yes, 2 hours. Do you know my first and last name? Let's do
I'd
it.
wait a week for a Drake type scenario. I'd let it play out for a week. Michael B. Jordan, 20 minutes, give or take.
I can't with you. I cannot. Yeah.
Why would you? I love long engagements though. I love.
Why? That's
I
so
don't know.
toxic.
Is
Here's
it?
here's
I
the
don't need
thing
like
for
a
me.
5-year engagement, but like, why do we only get to be engaged for 1 year? We'll never be engaged again.
No, but you don't want to be because you want to be married. Here's the thing for me. People who are in relationships for like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and then you're like, yeah, we just waiting on the right time to get married. I'm sorry, what the fuck? If you are with me for more than 60 days and you don't know whether I'm a permanent person or a temporary person in your life, get the fuck from away from me.
I wouldn't know that in 60 days
Shit,
without someone.
yes, you will.
No.
We have coworkers right now that we wish we would have only known for 2 days. Okay. And we have been stuck with these bitches for years.
That's fucking true.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
So if you know, and this is why this texting form of communication is let me tell you something. Anybody that texts me more than they call me, I do not take you seriously in anything in life. A man cannot, if your whole communication level with me is strictly texting for everything, I just know that I do not take you seriously.
You're old though.
I'm not old. I'm a millennial who was born without. But these are people who, unfortunately, who were born around the same time are older than me.
That's true. I get what you're saying. I just don't know that I would know. Okay, listen. I don't know what's in your wallet, right? Not you, but like if I don't know what's in someone's wallet, and we're going off of strictly like emotional bullshit, personality, love, all that shit.
That's bullshit.
I don't know that I would know in 60 days. Like I would need like no.
See, because I asked the questions on the first date.
No,
okay?
but I won't know if you're a serial killer until at least a year in when you let your guard down.
We don't need to know that. I don't need to know that you're a serial killer.
I would like to know
No.
if you're a fucking narcissist or a psychopath.
Because then you're in collusion, okay? And now you're going to have to testify in court on their behalf. So don't know that stuff.
No, I need to know.
You got to be like the wives on Criminal Minds that, what? Johnny did what?
No, listen. You have to plot and scheme to get someone to be who they really are. To drop their fucking guard. And it takes a little bit of time. You got to set it up. You got to set the scene. I'm just telling you. Because
God.
if they're like a narcissist or a sociopath or something crazy, they're good. They're on their game and they're going to have you right in their trap. They're going to say everything perfect and you're going to fall right into it.
This is why you don't have text message conversations. This is why you have in-person conversations versus these how you doing? How was your day? No, bitch, I'm not going to sit here and text you again. If I text any person more than I talk to you on the phone, know that I do not take your life seriously.
You can be crazy in person and weird over the phone.
But I think you're going to see that a lot quicker in person than you would over text message.
But it will still take a year, ma'am.
All of these, good morning, beautiful. Good night, beautiful. No, bitch, no. Let me hear the flexion in your voice when I ask you certain questions. Let me see your body language when I ask you certain questions. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to ask the big questions over text.
Shit. Hold on.
But like... wait, so how long what is the shortest amount of time you would wait to be engaged? You're saying 30 days or 60 days?
I'm saying you got a year.
A year.
Less than you got 9 months.
To propose to you.
You got 9 months to propose to me.
Gee, that's a baby.
You got 3 months
in the state of Texas where you can't abort it.
You got 3 months to make me your girlfriend.
That's insane. You
got 3 months.
No, actually 3 months to be your girlfriend's not insane, but a year to be married or engaged.
I'm 37. Okay, I'm moving up to geriatric uterus.
That's
okay,
true. I also have commitment issues, so this is. I literally don't even want to buy a house. This fucking 30-year loan period.
I'm a Taurus. I love loyalty and I love long relationships.
Loyalty and
so you got 90 days to make me your girlfriend. You got 6 months to start shopping for a ring. At 9 months, you better propose. And that's not an ultimatum. That is a standard for me.
See, I know myself and I know I go through periods of fucking attitudes and bullshit every 3 months. So like for me to cycle through them all, it's going to take about a year and a half. And if you can put up with it, then we'll start talking and we'll go somewhere.
Oh my God. No, you listen, you got to make up your mind quick. I'm not wasting any more time with any more men. I promise you that. I'm not. Again,
I love that. I wish I had that confidence.
You text me all the time and I don't never hear your voice, I don't just know that I don't take you seriously.
What about voice memos?
No.
See, I fuck with a voice memo.
If we don't even hang out, we don't go out, we're not in person on a regular, if we're not dating, I ain't talking about no stupid ass situationship, okay? I'm talking about what is your intention? What are you looking for?
So you're saying you need to be serious in 3 months and you want to be engaged 6 months after that?
9 months. Mm-hmm.
So 9 months total?
Yes.
Okay. And then how long would you be engaged?
Oh, if you propose, we can go to the courthouse the next day.
Okay.
Don't propose to me if you're not ready to get married. What's the purpose of you proposing?
No, it makes sense. I'm just saying. I just don't think that's how people operate.
The man I'm gonna marry will. Okay,
That's good. I'm glad.
but we gonna go to we gonna go to counseling as well. Okay,
For what, 2 weeks? What the fuck?
No, we're gonna go to counseling.
This is just this timeline. I don't get it.
We're gonna do projects together. Okay, this is why you ask on the first date. First date, who taught you how to be a man? Okay, who taught you about love? Listen, before the pasta come out, let's do that.
Oh, pasta. First date pasta.
Well, not necessarily pasta. That's gonna be
I'd be
heavy.
too
It's gonna make you
bloated,
sleepy. It's gonna make you. You need to eat a salad so you can be in the right frame of mind to ask these questions. That's what you need to do. You need to do pasta. I mean, salads. But yeah, I'm asking all the questions.
I need to see them like during the summer when I'm traveling alone with my friends, but also with them and how they react. And like in the fall when all my shows come out and I want alone time and how they react, and like football season, basketball season, what they're gonna do, and like my seasonal depression when that hits, what's gonna go on. I need time. All right,
ma'am, you have a lifetime to be with them to figure all that shit out. Okay. Lock them in and you can figure it out later.
You're right. I'll just pray
and
about it.
if you find that you don't like it, guess what? Divorce is an option. Okay, they have not put bans on divorce.
You're right. Why the fuck am I worrying so much about
That's
the
what I'm
pregame? We
saying.
got to get to the party.
You got to get to the people be focused so much on the actual wedding day. I don't care if I'm sitting here in a white robe and you got on some pajama pants and we get married. I don't care about that. I'm not paying thousands of dollars for other people to see me and my husband kiss. I'm not wasting money. You go buy your own goddamn cake. We about to go fucking all over the world. Okay,
fucking all over the world.
all I'm saying. You got 9 months to figure that shit out.
Yep, Ari's on your timeline then. Like they're dating for about a year.
I think that's great.
He looks like a child, so does she.
And did they have a big ceremony?
No, they got married. Small ceremony.
See what I'm saying?
Hopefully a prenup. Who knows?
Ariana Grande for president.
He's a real estate agent, so they tend to be solid people.
Real estate, it depends on. Well, for the market right now, yeah, he's good. When that market crash, maybe not so much. But yeah,
hope he's not a drinker.
I hope he's not either. Well, good for them. Congratulations.
But yeah, speaking of love, Bennifer is back, baby. Since 2004, we're back. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. I was going to say.
Don't say Lawrence.
Oh, I would never. Oh, wouldn't come out of my mouth.
You don't like Jennifer Lawrence?
Not really.
Oh my God, I love her.
Oh, do you? Oh yeah, okay.
She's the Mockingjay.
No, I was just gonna say the Mockingjay. I really loved her. What's the movie she does with Bradley Cooper? Not Silver Linings Playlist. Playbook.
Something about a thief.
Hustlers? Not Hustlers.
No, not Hustlers. That's the stripper
Gold.
movie. It's something.
I do like her in that one where she's like the bitchy wife.
Yeah. No, okay, here's the thing for Jennifer Lopez. Here's the thing. I'm not an expert on relationships. I'm far from
Really? Because you just gave me your whole layout. It sounded like you had it down.
No, right, because I've been in terrible relationships. So I have boundaries and standards now. Here's what I want, Jennifer Lopez.
American Hustle. Sorry,
American Hustle. Okay. I just want you to be single for at least a year. Let's go back to loving Jennifer and figuring out who she is. Let's go back to just being a mom and taking care of your babies. I feel like from what I see on social media, you're a great mother. But what I want to do is just go back to loving you, girl, because here's the pattern as to why it never works. You keep jumping around. She's one of those girlfriends who always has a man.
But here's my thing. If I was her age, that rich, that hot, I would also be like, why the fuck don't I have the man that I want?
Just get you a fuck friend, because that's all you really want at this point.
She knows who she needs to be with is fucking Mark Anthony.
No, they were not a cute couple. I never liked them as a cute couple. He just, no.
The son looks, the kids look just like him.
The kids are cute, but Mark Anthony, I think it's maybe if he gained a little weight.
He does. He
He looks very
cachectic.
cachectic. Yes, like he's been on Vital 1.5 for a while. For all of our dietitians out there, he's definitely been on TPN.
TPN for that.
He's been on TPN for a minute. That's allegedly.
Hold the feeds.
Yeah, he's definitely has a kangaroo at the house.
I don't know. I'm enjoying. Bennifer just gives me 2000s vibes.
Wasn't he an alcoholic allegedly or a drug addict allegedly? Something?
It's Hollywood, baby. Everyone is. You know.
I just feel
he was. He looks good now. There was a chunky time for him, probably when he was with the other Jennifer. No.
Gardner.
I was gonna say Love Hewitt.
Jennifer.
Yeah, Gardner.
Was that her name?
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
Really, Jennifer Gardner. Yes, Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer Gardner.
Yes. That's right.
13 going on 30.
Yes.
You're not about it.
No, Jennifer, I think you need to just take a time and pause for yourself.
Maybe this is her time to have fun. Maybe he was the most fun she's ever had, and now she's back. They were engaged.
You mean to tell me you didn't have fun with Diddy getting shot at?
No? This
Okay.
was her post Diddy glow up when she was like, "No, I'm a bad bitch and I can date white men in Hollywood."
No, she really thought she was black because she hung out with Diddy. And
well, because
she's wearing bandanas and shit.
Fucking Ashanti was singing her songs for so long, she probably did think she was black.
Well, they were Ashanti songs.
True. But maybe she is having fun. And she was like, remember that time we were engaged and in love? No, I just want to hang out with you in Miami all the time.
Think going back to your ex is like, I know this is going to sound very brutal, but I've always said this. Going back to an ex is like a dog throwing up and eating its own throw up. I just think,
gross.
Yeah, but that's how you should look at your ex. And I'm not saying that it has to be a tumultuous end. I'm not saying it had to be a knockout, drag out. But going back, your ex is an ex for a reason.
Maybe it just wasn't the right time.
No.
And now is the right
It's
time.
always the right time. People love to say, man, if it was a different time, we always just two people come together for chemistry, but always the wrong time. No, it's not. We were not meant to be. Because if it's meant to be, it will always be the right time. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh,
That's all I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying. It's not the wrong time. Man, the right time, right place, right situation. No.
Okay, so we'll scratch that off the list. We're 54 and 50 again.
Congratulations to them, I guess.
Okay.
What else is going on social media?
Russell Simmons is suing his ex-wife. Speaking of exes,
Yeah,
he is suing his ex-wife,
and
Kimora,
tell the people why he's suing his ex-wife.
because she must have, what did she do? Liquidated some company assets to pay for her allegedly her significant other's bail.
Who happens to be a quote-unquote billionaire.
Here's my thing. You're not a billionaire if you can't liquidate enough to get yourself out of jail.
Exactly.
That's just like being a crypto billionaire. Like the money, it's not real.
No, because the market has not caught up with that yet. No.
That's like me saying, oh,
I'm a millionaire Monopoly money.
I put an offer on this $1 or like a $300,000 house that will be worth $1 million in 10 years.
Yeah.
You're not a millionaire yet.
No, you're definitely not. And even if you don't have, your house will be worth $1 million, but the equity in the house is not worth $1 million.
If I can't buy something worth millions of dollars right now using your money, no, you're not a millionaire.
You're in liability. That's what you are. And see, this is why they were married for a minute, had some kids, and he got over it. They both got over it and was like, let's move on. See? And he been in relationship after relationship. And I'm glad he sued her. Good for you, Russell. Don't let her take your money. Y'all kids is grown.
What did he do that he needs to be?
It was some alleged embezzlement or something like that. Some fraudulent embezzlement or some shit.
Wow.
It's enough to make his ass go to jail.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was enough for you to go to jail. So clearly you did something egregious.
Egregious.
I mean, that's horrible.
Sexually assaulted. Who?
I would have sued her too. I don't care if we got kids. Our kids are grown. What's that girl named Aoki Lee? She is about to go to college.
Yeah. Those girls are beautiful.
They are. I think all her kids are beautiful. Yeah. Especially the one that
Did she have kids with that black guy who's always the villain?
He's not the villain. He's always a nice guy.
Is he?
What's his name? Digimon Hassoun, something like that. He was from Amistad, most notably known from Amistad. And then what's the one with Matt Damon? Leonardo DiCaprio. Blood Diamond.
Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
Is he not the bad guy in
he's
James Bond movie?
I don't know about now, but when he was definitely typecast as like the main African in every fucking movie when he first came out.
Kenzo, that's the kid's name, right?
Yeah, Kenzo. But what's the dad's name?
Digimon
Hassoun. See, I knew I was right. I didn't say it right, but I knew what it was.
What am I thinking he's from? Oh, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. King Arthur.
All black people don't look alike, Alessa.
I know. He's really good in King Arthur.
Yeah, he did
And he's
great
in Kingsman.
and Blood Diamond.
He has a fucking roster.
Yes, he does. And he played in Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah. He's
Yes,
Queen
he
Latifah's
did.
boyfriend.
Wow. Shouts out to him. Kenzo's a cool ass name too.
He's so cute with his little afro. I don't know if he still has the afro now, but yeah. Good for you, Russell Simmons. Sue the shit out of that girl.
Wasn't Russell Simmons, doesn't he sexually harass people or something?
He does not. That's alleged.
Okay, I'm sorry, allegedly.
That's alleged.
Okay. And then Issa Rae, Lauren London.
Ooh, yes. I saw this topic earlier in the week. And I thought it was very interesting how
Light skin
versus dark skin. So apparently Issa Rae did an interview with a magazine that was telling them basically that Nipsey Hussle basically was directly responsible for ending this kind of like tension between her and Lauren London. So apparently when Issa Rae first got her deal at HBO, for those of you who don't know who Issa Rae is, she got her start on YouTube with a show called The Misadventures of the Awkward Black Girl. And it was an amazing series that came out. I knew about it from one of my classmates in PT school. She put me onto it, and it was an amazing show, which ended up spiraling into this whole community of awkward black girls, right? And just awkward women in general. And then she got a deal with HBO. Well, HBO apparently wanted to cast Lauren London as Issa Rae's character. And Issa Rae was like, fuck no. Like, y'all, every
First
time
of
y'all
all,
bring something to the
Lauren
table.
London is not awkward. She is the exact opposite of awkward.
And that was her whole point. She was like, every time y'all get a project for black people, y'all always want to put a light-skinned ass girl in the forefront and then have dark-skinned friends versus her being at the forefront as this darker-skinned girl. Then you have her best friend who's also a dark-skinned girl. Then you have one of her friends who's in the shadows, who's Amanda Seals, who's the light-skinned girl, you know? So it was I guess a lot of tension that was probably, you know, I think from Lauren's standpoint, she was probably like, well, why she hating on me? I'm just an actress out here trying to get a fucking job. And it's like, it's not really about you, Lauren. It's about the whole colorism issue in Hollywood. So she said that literally Nipsey Hussle, I guess they all had a conversation and, you know, they were able to kind of get past that and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting because I never knew about that.
Yeah. Did I tell you my mom watched that Oprah special, Dark Skin Girls, Light Skin Girls?
Oh, really? What did she think about it?
She was like, did you know there is a whole feud? I was like, I've heard. Yeah,
I heard about it.
Little inklings of it.
Yeah, I heard about it a little bit later.
Because they do they interview all the dark skinned girls and they talk about this and the history of the paper bag and and then they interview the light skinned girls.
Yeah, I mean, I think even like recently, what's her name, Mulatto, the rapper Mulatto. She changed her name. It was a lot of controversy. People were saying, oh, you shouldn't call yourself mulatto because that's a word that they use to demonize black women, especially dark skinned black women. Blah blah blah. And she ended up recently changing her name to Lotto, which I just think that you didn't need to change your name because
like the lottery.
No,
or
like
just short mulatto. So it means the same thing.
It means the same thing. So I'm
she
like,
might as well just catch it and not having to change all her merchandise.
Exactly. I'm like, you should have just kept mulatto. Nobody was up in arms that bad to force you to change your name. Also,
that's like Lady Antebellum is now Lady A.
Now I understand that.
I do too. And the Dixie Chicks are just chicks.
Well, see, I never understood the Dixie Chicks part. Why is that racist?
I guess it's like Dixie South and Southern Pride and the Confederate.
Okay, they got a whole grocery store chain called Win motherfucking Dixie.
My nana's name is Dixie.
And Win Dixie is a great store. I mean, they got Czech sodas.
I don't know. I think people are just trying really hard not to get fucking canceled.
Well, even like the other rapper, light skinned Keisha, who I love. People are like, well, why you gotta say that you light skinned?
Because she's light skinned.
Bitch, because she light skinned. And also, too, even with first of all, her name is Keisha. How many other Keishas are in the damn industry?
Cole.
Thank you.
Taylor.
What's her name? What's Rudy's name? Keisha Cole Pulliam. That's another Keisha. See what I'm saying? You can't just call her Rudy. So she got to differentiate herself because Keisha Cole and already took Keisha. So she got to say something else. What's she gonna say? Lace front Keisha? That's not. No. She's got to say light skinned Keisha. And I think she's an amazing rapper. I love her. I love her.
To change her name to Lace Front Keisha.
Lace front, like you can't. No, her name has to be. Like I think light skinned Keisha is fine. And maybe because I'm a caramel girl, I keep saying I'm a caramel girl. I'm probably not, but who knows? That's what I call myself. I can be what I want to be.
Watch you become a rapper and be Caramel Monica.
Absolutely.
I don't know why she's calling herself that.
Yeah, because if I were a singer and I came out as Monica, I can't come out is Monica. There's already a Monica. Like you gotta set yourself apart. Why you think you got all these fucking little baby, little B, little whatever?
It'd be different if she was very, very, very obviously white and she was like, I'm light skinned Keisha.
If she was like, what's that other girl named Iggy Azalea? And she light skinned Iggy. Bitch, you white. Now that's racist. If she would have named herself light skinned Iggy. But no, light skinned Keisha, I get it. She's trying to set herself apart.
Oh man.
You heard that new Keisha song? Which Keisha? Light skinned Keisha. Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about. Makes sense. But yeah, I get it. But I think because I've never really had to deal with colorism, I've only dealt with racism.
It's one or the other for everybody out here.
Yeah, because I'm not super light skinned, but I'm not dark skinned either. And so I'm right in the middle. So I've never, again, I always tell people this, when you see me in person, my neck is dark, okay? But the rest of my body is light skinned. So I've never had that issue with colorism, but I have seen some of my friends from college and high school who have gone through that. And I've also seen light skinned friends of mine get more things and more notoriety because they are light skinned. So I'm not oblivious to the colorism issue. It just hasn't happened to me personally. So I don't have a problem with even mulatto, like having the name mulatto. I understand the connotation behind it. But if you have not eradicated the word nigga, leave mulatto alone at this point. If you can't,
there's only so much we can do.
All right, what else is going on in social media?
Nothing. You want to go to the rehab corner?
Yeah, let's skip on over to the rehab corner. I'm sorry, y'all, that sounds so stuffed up. It's just, I'm having a time here recording.
I'm stuffy. I'm the foot. No.
Okay, Khalees. Yeah, I sound like a horrible. Anyway, I'm telling you, this is how you know you have good equipment, when your equipment makes you sound like you're sick. Like, anyway.
Ooh, I got a little something brewing.
Get out. Only one person sick at a time.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said,
go.
Hey, yes, I've been bad, but when I come back, you'll
go. Get your ass in that corner.
Hey, welcome to the rehab corner, everybody.
All right, so what are we talking about at rehab corner?
I know everyone is on the edge of their seat. They're very concerned about me and the squeezeball issues, squeezegate, if you will.
Ooh, I like #squeezegate.
#squeezegate. So I do finally have an answer for everyone.
Yeah, because we put a poll on our Instagram and Facebook about, did Fowler get her squeeze ball?
Yes.
And you guys came out and drove numbers and we loved it. But most of the people said no.
Yeah, so for those of you who didn't listen to our last episode,
go back and
listen to it. But
absolutely,
I demanded squeeze balls.
Yes, you did.
From my
senior leader
at work, because it's the resource I need to do my job. Anyway, she said, yeah, I'll get them. And I was like, and on the podcast, I was like, if I don't have them by Wednesday, 3 p.m.,
I'm going to fuck off.
I'm just going to flip a fucking table, Teresa Giudice style, and
absolutely,
we're going to see what happens. So are there squeeze balls now in the office? Technically, yes.
Yes.
Were they the ones I requested from the person I requested them from? No. These squeeze balls were ordered a month ago. So I'm going to still say I don't have my squeeze balls.
No, you don't.
And I'm going to still come for your head.
Yeah. You did not get your squeeze balls.
I did not, but I did walk around the hospital giving them out to anybody and everybody that asked.
Definitely, because I gave one too. I saw you with one. I was like, hey, my patient needs a squeeze ball. Let me get this.
See, everyone needs a fucking squeeze ball in the hospital.
Here's the thing, though. From that, now, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think our administration is listening to our podcast, because why did they strategically send that message on Wednesday that, hey, the squeeze balls that were ordered a month ago is in? I'm like,
it was like verbatim. Hey, we have been working actively on this thing. And they're gonna be here on Friday. They're ready for you. And I was like, y'all are listening to me, and y'all don't want to piss me off. And
definitely.
Good choice, good on you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, squeeze. First of all, they make everyone happy.
And they have smiley faces on them.
They have smiley faces on them. Sometimes you just need something to do, and for some reason, people just perseverate on, I need a stress ball, I need a squeeze ball.
And if the patients throw them at the staff, they're squeezable. So they're not going to hurt you if somebody throws them at you.
That is all functional activity. So from my end, I'm all about it.
Shoulder range of motion, elbow extension,
grip
and flexion.
Strength.
Absolutely.
Coordination.
Yep. Balance. Yep. So throwing objects at staff from patients is a therapeutic activity.
Yeah. So moral of the story is, my job still doesn't care about me or my needs. But
yes, very true.
Good thing is patients are happy.
That's very true. Well, it depends how much patients you ask.
What we're still lacking in the hospital is common sense.
That's very true. Common sense in the fact that, so Alyssa and I have been working with this patient who's on ECMO, and on the arterial support, which basically means that he needs a heart transplant. Right. So this centrally cannulated patient that we have,
where they basically stick a fucking garden tube in your heart like a Capri Sun straw.
Yeah, and
pump that shit full of blood.
Yeah. So this patient that we were seeing, you know, in the very beginning, they were like, "Hey, don't touch him." We were like, "Okay, cool." Then they said, "Okay, touch him. He's been in a chair." Blah blah blah. Then we're working with him, and then the next, I think like it's like 2 days later, they're like, "Hey," so they took him back to the OR for something, and they're like, "Hey, you guys can work with him, but you can only just stand and march in place, no walking." Mind you, the patient has to stand and take side steps, which means walk, from the bed to the chair and from the chair back to the bed.
Because every time we go in there to see him, he's already sitting in the chair.
Exactly.
Which means he has stood and took steps to the chair. He's moved positions on his own via his feet.
And then they're like, "Oh, well, no, he can only march in place." And I'm like, let's break down what marching in place includes. It includes hip flexion, knee flexion, ankle dorsiflexion, and plantar flexion, heel strike with regard to the phases of gait and extension, right?
And if we just advance those steps, those marches, and we made them not in place,
are nothing but walking.
They would be steps forward and or backward.
Yeah, it's static walking. That's
which
literally
I
all it
argue
is.
would be more beneficial for the patient.
Exactly.
Emotionally, functionally,
right,
cognitively, because we'd be moving about the cabin.
Right. Can we walk to the sink? No. We can only march in place.
We can't even walk to the sink. You know, that's always my game plan. Just get him to the sink.
If he's that critical, maybe we shouldn't be touching him at all. Maybe you shouldn't be getting him to the chair. And then they're like, "Well, no, we need to keep his strength up." Well, if you're going to keep his strength up, making him march in place is not going to help.
Making his cannulas bob up and down. I might as well get some fucking steps out.
I mean, do you want his lungs to increase? Like, do you want his lung endurance, his cardiopulmonary endurance to increase?
It's always that for me. They're like, "You can work with him. Here's all these stipulations. Be very careful." And to which we say, if we need all these stipulations, is it that appropriate to be working with him? Exactly. Oh yeah, it's fine, but just don't do A, B, C, or D.
Exactly. It's just like, thank you for the restrictions and freedom.
But also, I just don't think they understand. If you're telling me it's okay to stand him and take steps to the bed, then why can't I stand him and take steps forward?
Exactly.
Or back?
So you can only go to the side because the cannulas won't dislodge from the side. They will only dislodge if you walk forward. And I'm like,
even though you're pulling more when you walk to the side than you would be if you were just going forward.
Exactly. And I'm like, you have more pressure on your cannulas by sitting in that chair than you do actually standing. So yeah. But then even too, one thing that I have to give props to this particular group, cardiology group. A lot of times when we're working with patients, and we get patients up all the time, the reality is that a lot of times what surgeons do directly affects how successful we can be as therapists. So for example, most patients, when they have a surgery, if they have an arterial line, which is basically telling us their blood pressure in real time, when they do that, a lot of times they put it in the wrist, right? We need the patient's hands to be able to stand up. We basically had this one guy who was like from the story of last week, this super tall guy who Alyssa had Bambi legs with and was vibrating in real time because she was about to drop him.
The one she made me transfer by the 6'5", 300-pound man.
Yes,
she made me transfer by myself.
As my student and I just looked, onward.
And she had a student. You didn't even have her help me. I just realized that.
Well, because she was like, "Oh, this is just my second week here." But anyway, so they were taking him back to the OR to put a balloon pump in, and we were like, "Hey, if you put these balloon pumps in, or the balloon pump, it's not plural. If you put the balloon pump in, please go axillary, which is right below the clavicle, right?" And we were like, "Please just go there because this is a big guy. He's already weak. If you put this in his legs, he's going to be knocked all the way down, and we may not be able to get him back up."
Because right now, with nothing inserted in him,
his
legs ain't doing very much.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's a big guy. So, the surgeons were like, "We'll try it." Most surgeons are just like, "No, fuck y'all bitches. You work around that shit."
Therapy don't give a fuck.
They really don't. But
remember when you told that doctor if he could please stop putting lines in their groin so we could get them?
I wanted to kick that skinny ankle bitch down. First of all, this doc. Let me veer from this story to this story. This one doctor who has been working in our facility probably since the damn facility opened, his fucking old ass. He gets on my goddamn nerve. This man has the skinniest fucking ankles. His ankles are anorexic. He wears fucking church socks and shoes with blue scrubs. It pisses me off. He walks with a shuffling gait pattern like he has fucking Parkinson's or something.
He looks like he's a potato on toothpicks.
Seriously, he's so fucking annoying. Every time he sits down, all you see are like the remnants of his socks with his skinny skinny ass spaghetti legs. He gets on my nerves because he's a dinosaur and he puts lines in people's groins for weeks at a time and never lets these people get up.
We cannot get anyone up if you have any kind of line in your groin.
Listen, this man's patients, let me tell you how much people don't like this man or don't even respect him. His patients that are in these units, the team does not even round on his patients. They're like, oh, that's a so-and-so. We're skipping these bitches. Because they know if they do anything, he's going to, just blow a fucking gasket.
This is the kind of doctor he is. The other day I was in a room and this patient's blood pressure was 60/30. Right?
It's pretty normal.
Yeah. No, his heart was not beating. And the nurse had tried to call him multiple times and was trying to push fluids. And he had already told her, no, I don't want you pushing fluids. And so he wasn't answering the phone.
That's so
and he wasn't
stupid.
calling her back. And it took her forever. And I was like, this man is going to die.
I want to report him to the board so bad. You no longer need to be practicing on people, you stupid loser. And I went to him one day and I was like, hey, Dr. So-and-so, how you doing? It's Monica from physical therapy. I know that you have this swan in this femoral area, right? Is there any way that you would consider moving it to, IJ? Because we need to
where
get this
everyone
blood.
else puts the swan.
Exactly. And he's like, no, your therapy, you'll figure it out. I was like, bitch. And when he said that to me, I started to really get mad, but I was like, you know what? All I got to do is just cow tip you and you will die. So I'm just not.
It's just because I feel like there is a push at our hospital for early mobility.
Yeah.
And even if the other doctors are assholes, for the most part, they realize even if the patient's critical, they need to move somehow because it'll be so much more fucked up if we wait.
Exactly.
And he is the only one who's like, no, your job is to fix weakness. So when I'm done with them, you can work on their weakness.
And there's no valid reason. Even one of the infection prevention nurses, I think it was 2 years ago, got into it with him in the hallway. Oh my God, it was so funny. I wish I could have recorded that. She was going off. She was like, well, first of all, a lot of your patients have been coming back with infections. And he's like, what? That is not my fault. If you tell me right now that the way you guys have made me change my bandages and there's nothing to do with me keeping my same bandage on for 5 days at a time. Yeah, yes, it is, sir. This is
literally exactly how you get infections.
Seriously, infectious diseases has said he is the problem, and none of y'all motherfuckers do anything.
There's a whole department that focuses on this,
God.
and they're saying it's you.
I hate this guy. He's the worst doctor ever. He's just old and decrepit and needs to retire. He's so fucking annoying. Oh my God. Anyway.
So that's the example of what we don't appreciate.
No, definitely not. But we do appreciate these other doctors who take PT and OT seriously for what we request for. Because I never usually request for doctors to alter the way they do surgery for any reason unless it's something really grave. And so I asked the doctor, I was like, hey, I've done 1,000 things for you. I'm calling in my very first favor. Can you please try to put this line axillary for this patient? Please. He's a big guy. He was like, fine, I'll try it. I will absolutely try it. So then we came back the next day. The man had a line in his groin and we were like, bitch, what the...
I swear we talked about this.
I swear we talked about it. So, him and his nurse practitioner, they were like, we tried twice because of the thrombus. It would not go in there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you so much for trying. Then here comes insult to injury. 2 days after that, they come back and they're like, hey, we're going to go to the OR to put an impella in. They put an impella in the same area that the balloon pump was supposed to go that apparently didn't work. I'm not a surgeon, so obviously that's not my jurisdiction. But I was grateful that they even at least attempted. Mm-hmm. And that's what we talk about with regard to physician advocacy, that they understand that this patient is going to be in the hospital for a minute, right? And in order for us to maximize what we're doing, because we can only do so much with the arms and the bed. Mm-hmm.
But it's the last thing they're thinking about when they're doing surgery is, oh, I wonder how this is going to affect their mobility. They're trying to save lives.
That's very true.
So I feel like it is up to us to be like, hey, I know you went to school forever and you get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this very specific,
What, are you having a stroke? What the fuck?
This very specific job.
Yeah.
But we can't fucking move them if you do that. So
That's
is there a way
true.
we can figure it out?
And this is why even too, when it comes to, we were having a conversation this week about new grads and how, these new grads that are spearheading new programs is so inappropriate because they don't have the balls or the knowledge or the wherewithal to have the guts to go to a surgeon and say, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z because it's going to be beneficial for your patient. And I know you're not a therapist. You're not supposed to be, but it's my job to help advocate for this patient. Mm-hmm. And when I see something that's going wrong, because even Captain ECMO, Before COVID happened, he would always say, mobility is the priority. And he would ask me daily, are my cannulas interfering with you getting my patient up? And I'm like, no, not unless the cannulas were like irritating the patient's legs or there was like a compromise with regard to circulation. He would change it and put it in the internal jugular, or he would change it and put it axillary. But there was rarely ever a time where I asked him to change it, unless too, we had patients who, from a speech therapy standpoint, we've had them change cannulas too, or request to change cannulas because the cannulas were pushing against their esophagus and preventing them from being able to swallow and have nutrition, which is a big part of what we do. So even when you talk about putting these new grads and putting them over certain programs and stuff, it's just like, this is not beneficial.
The idea that someone like me would be put in charge of a program and people would think that at my point in my career, I could be like, hey, I am this new grad and I know you're a doctor who's been practicing forever, but we need this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. And can we have this, this, and this? Yeah. And this would work. But no fucking way, dude.
They're going to look at you like you're stupid, which is what some of the doctors do to some of the new grads. And they're just like, and they yell at them. And then you got new grads who are sitting in a fucking closet crying their asses off because they've been offended. They're just, I've never had anybody talk to me like that.
No one tells you, I mean, no one told me in school, like, hey, you are a person and you do not deserve to be yelled at by a senior person in the hospital, but you're just still in school mode. You're like, fuck, I'm getting in trouble. These people are above me.
But the thing is, they're not. That's the misconception. That's the misconception that a physician is over anybody. You are not. Because if you were over me, then you should be able to do my job. You consult me for a specific specialty. Just like you consult a neurologist, just like you consult a nephrologist, just like you consult a urologist or vascular surgery or neurosurgery, whatever. I cannot fucking consult myself. I cannot put orders in for myself. So if I am a specialty, that means you need me, motherfucker. So let's not.
All right. Well, I don't want to have this conversation if you're just going to ruin it with your coughs. Get it out. Let it all out.
Jesus. But yeah, you're not going to sit here and tell me that you're over me. You're not over me. Because again, let's take the people at Chick-fil-A. The manager at Chick-fil-A knows how to cook the fries, the burgers. They can do all of this stuff. They
make chicken sandwiches.
Chicken sandwiches too. They know how to do all that. Run the cash register, I mean. So they know how to do everything. So yes, they are above you. But when we work in a multidisciplinary situation and a multidisciplinary culture, you are not over me. You are not above me. We are all at the same level. We are all gatekeepers for our particular specialty of these patients. And if we're telling you that something is not working, we're telling you that for a reason. It's okay to tell us no, but at least try.
I'd still do that cute thing when a doctor walks into the room or when a doctor tells me something to do with the patient or whatever. I'm like, yeah. And don't fucking listen to them if I think it's wrong. But I just don't have it in me yet to do the fucking confrontational shit. I'm just like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I just want you to get out of the room because me and my patient were having a good time until you came in here. So
see, I love confrontation. I'm okay. I don't say I love it. I'm okay with confrontation because even when physicians walk in, I have to quickly remind them, I am a skilled licensed clinician just like you are. And when you walk in my room and you immediately enter, there are only certain physicians that I will allow to interrupt me without even addressing me, okay? And these are surgeons who bring a lot of money into this hospital, but they are still respectful outside of the room. If there's a resident or somebody that comes in and I'm literally having a full-on conversation with my patient or educating them or doing whatever, and they walk in and they're just like, hey, sir, how are you? And I'm like, whoa, here's what we're not going to do. That. I'm in the middle of an evaluation, so if you can come back in 15 or 20 minutes or even 23 minutes, I'm in the middle of my treatment session.
23 on the dot, if we're being honest.
And they're just, I just wanted to, no, you didn't just. You're going to just walk your ass up out of here. Because I'm in the middle of, literally, I'm delivering. Would you interrupt the fucking surgeon? If you would not interrupt the surgeon, don't interrupt me. So,
you're not a surgeon, though.
I am a surgeon. I cut people all the time with my words. Get your ass up, Mr. Johnson. Let's go. I am a surgeon. So I hate even residents will come in and be like, I just want to pull the chest tubes real quick. No. That's not what we're doing.
No. Here's the thing about that for me. I get that the doctors are right. They're always fucking thoughting and bopping. They're running in just to say something quick. If it's an actual quick thing, like, hey, we saw the scans, everything's fine, I'm gonna talk to you later. I just came by to tell you that. That's cool. They do that shit where they're like, hey, I just have to do this thing real quick. Let me go grab the supplies. Let me go in
Right.
here and check all the vitals. Let me go in here and check all these chest tubes. Let me go in here and look at your full. No.
And then the patient at the end is like, I'm in too much pain to get up. I don't want to do therapy.
Yep.
Bitch, I'm charging for this shit. I'm absolutely charging. And I'm going to
I'm
put
gonna
it
go
in
to
the
the
note.
doctor. Hey, you have Venmo, Cash App, because you're paying for the hour of time I just fucking missed.
Seriously, like I hate that. There are some physicians too that will show up to the room and they're just standing there like awkwardly outside the door, and I'm like, I refuse to address you. I refuse it. But some other ones who are respectful and be like, hey, are you about to get them up to the edge of the bed? Yes, I am. Is it okay if I listen to their heart and lungs?
Yes, you
Absolutely. Thank you for
Even though I'm
acknowledging
annoyed
me.
when you do that, because this eval would have gone a lot quicker
Exactly.
if you didn't. Fucking, it's always the
Exactly.
wound. Can we look at their wound? Are you gonna get them up? Can we look at their wound? That's just never quick.
And you know they never help us stand these people.
Never.
They're like, can I look at their bottom? Okay, are you gonna
I've
help?
had a 400-pound man, total times 3, rolled to the side on a sand bed. Can we look at his wound?
Where the fuck was that at? LR?
LR.
Oh, I was like, gotta be.
We're sweating. I'm holding him, and they're just taking their sweet ass fucking time. And I'm like, y'all, we have got y'all.
Can somebody go get me the camera in the little room?
Literally, I'm like, y'all weren't ready because we were already sitting at the
Yo.
edge of the bed, which means we have to go. When he's tired, you just gotta fucking go.
Exactly. I hate it.
Can you get the camera? Where's the thing you measure it
No.
with? Da, 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 da. And I was like, I fucking hate
You
it.
can come in here when we're finished. Like, and then like some doctors, I remember this one surgeon, I think it was on Friday. If he wasn't a surgeon, he was a resident, fucking residents. I don't have no respect for residents. Fuck y'all. Anyway, because they're just like, intern, you're just a fucking intern. Get out of here. So this one resident comes in who was like super just slow and just stupid. And he's just like, hey, so I was coming in to see you. And so I told my patient, go ahead and stand up. Let's go. We're walking. I already got all my shit together. We're walking. So he starts following us outside of the room, and the patient was like, do you need something? And he's like, oh, I just wanted to listen to your heart and lungs, but you with therapy, so that's way more important. And I was like,
Yes, it
let's
is.
keep going. Let's keep going. You can come back. Like, your time is not more precious than mine. Resident, half the time you're sitting there studying anyway.
You're also not getting paid to do this, but I am. So
No, exactly. And I have to meet productivity standards, bitch. Get out of my face.
I can actually get fired, so
Thank you. Like, I was here first. Damn it. That's really what it boils down to. I was fucking here first.
you know what the worst is? When you start an eval or a treat with someone and you run to go get something, and when you come back, the doctor's in there or someone's in there to take
Fucking
like,
echo.
or
Oh,
to take blood, phlebotomy or someone. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I hate echo techs. I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I am really good friends, or we have really great working relationships with all of our echo techs at our hospital, and we play with them all the time, especially on like TAVR Thursday or TAVR Friday when they have to come in and get these patients done and they have to go back in the bed. And I always try to beat them to getting the patient first
It's
because
the worst.
they're gonna be stuck in there for like an hour. And they're like, "Oh, I'll only be 5 minutes." You're
No,
a
you
5
will
minute
not.
lie. You're a liar.
Or you're like, oh, perfect. I'll go get the patient back in bed really quick to do my eval before Echo comes. And when you get
Exactly.
there, Echo's already got him fucking elevated at 9 feet up in that fucking
I
bed.
hate them. They're the worst. The only people I will let stop me are X-ray because X-ray is fast as shit. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you need
They're like,
X-ray,
roll
that's fine.
in place and roll
Listen,
and out.
they be about to cut your whole back of your skin off to get them damn X-ray plates up underneath
They're like,
you.
we're just gonna place this board under you. They're not placing shit.
And the
I've
patient's
seen
always
them-
like, ow, you're pinching me. It's the funniest thing
I'm like,
ever.
y'all swear y'all are in therapy.
No, they are brutal. X-ray techs are brutal.
You just you're like,
They're like, just roll over the patients. Ow, ow. So echo techs are definitely much nicer than X-ray techs, but it's still hilarious. But I'm appreciative for those doctors even trying and being willing and open to adjust their surgical treatment or intervention to suffice therapy, because we know that they still need to get up with us. And again, the longer you sit them in bed, the more debilitated they're going to get. And then they're not going to be able to be placed and get out. And then the CFO is going to be pissed off. And then case manager is going to be pissed off. And it's going to be your fault because you decided to put stuff in their legs.
yep.
So, yeah. Anything else in the rehab corner we need to discuss?
No, I'm not an emotional person. Like, I really could give a fuck.
Oh, that's good.
But
Okay.
these last couple heart transplants, dude, I don't know what it is about getting a new heart, but it hits me right in the middle of my heart. And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
you get a second chance at life.
I had to go off on a patient last week. And y'all, I don't think I've ever been this upset with a patient ever in my life. And to her defense, she had a heart transplant, had a stroke, and a hemorrhage afterwards, right? So she's
Not
no
great.
longer a cardiac patient. She's definitely a neuro patient. But
That's
this lady,
stuck on the fucking cardiac
oh
floor.
my God, she just keeps, she screams at everything like she's falling. This lady's laying in the fucking bed or sitting in the chair. I'm fine. Shut the fuck up. You're not fine. I was so frustrated with her, and I literally told my supervisor, I was like, I literally put in the comments, not Monty.
Yo,
ever.
I walked past this room. This lady's screaming.
She's screaming at the top of her lungs.
I'm not playing with you. I'm not.
I was like, do you understand that somebody had to die in order to give you their heart? They're dead. And you're over here pissing on their new heart. How dare you? I mean, I went flap off on her.
Snaps off her gloves, throws them in the trash
I was
can.
like, I'm done. Physical therapy is done. I'm kicking you off of our service. And she was like, well, the doctor's not going to be very happy with me. I was like, no, the dead person who's in the ground that you took their heart is not happy with you right now. I mean, and then when I walked out of the room, here go the nurses start clapping. They was, yes, Monica, that's right. That's right. I'm glad you said it.
I told you that the unit clerk was like, if you have time to see her today, please see her. I painted her nails. You know, I feel so bad. She just says that she feels like the doctors gave her medicine that made her crazy, and she just keeps having these memories of all the nurses standing around her laughing. I said, I'm sure that happened because she was saying some crazy shit.
She absolutely was.
She was literally wacky pataki losing it.
Yeah, she was.
And there was nothing to do but just be like, what the hell is going on?
Like, we came in, we were like, hey, how you doing? She was like, I don't have money to buy a truck. Bitch, what? She was like, I don't have any money to buy a truck. And we were like, where are you? I don't have a vehicle. Okay, what month is it? Ladies, I don't have any money. What are you talking about?
And sometimes you just have to laugh because you're like,
some of the stuff they say is it's hilarious.
Funny.
It's hilarious.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and y'all need the CT scan. CT scan, please, again. But yeah, I had to go off on. I told the doctor, I told her surgeon, I was like, I'm done. Don't ask me to see her ever again. I'm done. So I literally
is the same lady that was sitting like almost buck naked the day after the transplant, pulling at her external pacer wires.
She was pulling at everything. She was calling somebody's name. And,
get my family, they're in the hall.
And
no,
then,
they're not.
And then after I told Bailey about it, and I was like, she was like, Monica. She grabbed my hand and just rubbed my hand. She was like, Monica, we just gotta try something. I was like, no, Bailey, I'm done. So then I heard her on Friday. I heard the patient screaming again down the hallway. So I'm assuming it's you because the patient was on your list. So I was like, oh, this is gonna definitely be a great story for the podcast. So all of a sudden I see the nurse practitioner come out of the room and she all sweating, and I'm like, where your white coat at? What you been doing? She's my girl, I was down there with her. That's why she was screaming. I was like, oh Lord. She's my, I made her stand for 5 times, 30 seconds each, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, so you taking over PT job? Great job, because I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
All for the patient.
Yeah, I when you get to a certain point where you are no longer safe and you're like, I need to walk away from this patient because I cannot deliver quality care to you because you're getting on my fucking nerves, and I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah, well, the good heart transplants, the hard workers, they're the ones who make me emotional right before they get their heart.
Yeah,
because I'm like, this is a traumatic thing that's happening.
Definitely.
Someone had to die for you to get this organ for you to live.
Yeah,
but also they're about to crack your fucking chest open, put your heart to sleep, snip it out of your body, put a new one in, and try to jumpstart that shit.
Definitely.
And it's scary.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And everyone's like, oh my God, we're so excited. How happy. You must be so excited. I'm like, this shit's traumatic.
Yeah, it really is. Because to know that somebody literally had to, like, everybody's, congratulations on your new heart. But yeah, the person did die to give it to you. It's like going back and forth. It's almost like survivor's remorse, like knowing that I have a dead person's heart inside of me that's keeping me alive. Like, what did I do, or what did they not do? Or, you know what I mean? It's
you also don't know that you'll wake up from that surgery
the same way you went to sleep. The same way.
Yeah, it's insane. So I try to always be like, hey, how are you feeling?
And that's why even to the other patient that we had that's a heart transplant that's having a difficult time, he was finally talking, trached or whatever, and, he was very frustrated. He just started like pounding his fist on the bed and was like, I'm frustrated. And so I just let him scream because I knew it wasn't directed toward me. And he just kept screaming, Jesus, help me. Just give me strength, Lord. And I was like, hey, dude, you can keep screaming. I'm totally fine. So of course, the nurse
for me too,
the nursing staff came and they were just like, everything okay? I'm like, we're having therapy. He's fine. He's totally fine. This is his chance to vent.
This is another kind of therapy.
Exactly. He can yell and he can scream as much as he wants to. And I was like, what are you exactly frustrated with? Because I can't move. And I was like, okay, you're not punching me. You're punching the bed. Even if
surprised he was that.
He was very intact.
Yeah.
He was very intact and alert. I was very surprised, and I was happy that he was. So at least he could tell when he's like disengaging that it's not because something's going on, neurologically, but it's literally he's frustrated. Yeah, he's frustrated.
I'd rather be behavioral than cog.
Oh, definitely, because cog you can't fix that shit. It's just your brain takes longer to heal. But yeah, I was just at least grateful that he was able to vent his frustration. So at least we knew and he could communicate. So
yeah. So tally ho. Good luck for this week.
definitely. This week is going to be an amazing week. You know why? Because we're going
That's
to
my
make
birthday.
it.
Oh.
That's 2. So Fowler's birthday is on. It'll be the day that this comes out.
Yeah.
Both of our birthdays end up being on this day.
Wow.
So happy birthday, Fowler.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Fowler.
What?
Happy birthday, Fowler.
Woo.
Happy birthday, Fowler. How old are you? How old are you? How old
27?
are you? How old are you? Ooh,
27?
ooh.
10 years younger than you?
Oh, bitch. You ageist.
I can't wait until I'm 37, honestly.
No, don't speed it up. Your knees are gonna go bad. You're not gonna have the Megan,
Yeah.
the Megan Thee Stallion knees.
When we were working with ECMO the other day and I had
Yeah.
his chest tube because I was just down there moving him for you.
Yeah.
And then we started playing electric slide and shit. And we were dancing in this patient's room. And
Yeah.
I was like, by the time I get up, I'm gonna have to get back down. So I'm just gonna stay on the floor. My knees.
I don't know
hurt
why you do that every
so
time.
bad.
I don't know why you do that every time. I just bend over because I'm too. My knees are gone. No.
I need a little stool. And when I was in inpatient rehab, I made them order all these stools that had back support.
Yeah.
And they're my favorite stools. And I would just roll around everywhere because I was
Oh,
like, this
yeah.
is great. And
Outpatient always has like the best.
I need to
stools on
steal
rehab.
some of those stools.
Yeah, we should.
Probably
we
wouldn't be
should
the safest thing to do in CV, but
I mean, we can hide them somewhere.
Yeah.
So nobody else gets them.
Good.
But yeah. So happy birthday, Fowler!
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. I won't ask you what you're gonna do for your birthday because that's extra content for the podcast for next week.
yeah, I can't wait to surprise everybody. I'm gonna do
Oh,
something
yeah. Skydiving.
That was in
Yay!
my head.
Don't do it.
I wasn't going to, but
I
I
don't feel
thinking
like
about
finding
it.
another co-host. Please, no.
I'm afraid of heights, so
You know, my cousin actually just did that. Shouts out to my cousin Jelly. She literally just skydived.
like I don't
Like,
enjoy
by herself.
I don't enjoy doing things that could potentially kill me.
Yeah. Well,
We work in rehab. Like no.
listen, this girl, well, she's in the military. She is living her best life. And I tell you, this is the most
Living your
fearless
best
little
life.
girl. She's not a little girl. She's a woman, but I still consider her a little girl because she's my little cousin. But she is the most fearless woman ever. The fact that she jumped out of a plane by herself. No, like nobody was attached to her. Like she just jumped out of the plane. Like jumped out.
That's a no for me.
I'm just like, girl, God bless you. She's fearless.
Would
I
you
love
rather
it.
shatter both legs or shatter your pelvis?
If you shatter your legs, you're probably more than likely going to shatter your pelvis at the same time.
I mean, if you could
Definitely
isolate
legs.
pick legs.
Legs, because legs you can get back. Pelvis, you
That's
got a
a
lot
hard
of
one.
bladder stuff. You got a lot of, a lot of vasculature in there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do either when you go. So
Break your neck or break your back.
neither.
You have to pick one.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Nope.
You're blessed and highly favored.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't put stuff like that into the atmosphere.
Okay. Don't want to play my fun game. Though?
Nope. your game is murder. Your game
Would
is
you
pure
rather
murder.
die by drowning or drowned by
What? Would you rather never hear again or never see again?
I like music.
You will be
In movies,
blind?
I'd be blind.
You're going to die in the apocalypse, bitch. I have taught you this before. Always keep
I
your
like
faculties.
music in movies.
You got to be able
Hearing
to see.
is a faculty.
It is a faculty, but if you can't see, fuck your hearing.
But if I can hear, my hearing gets better.
No, you still can't see, bitch. You can't see the zombies coming towards
But
you.
you wouldn't be able to hear if something was behind you.
You can see it though.
Not if you're standing front facing.
If you got some vibrating shoes on or something.
Okay, well, you show me the vibrating shoes.
Some people
and-
have that when their senses go up, their eyes, they can see vibrations with their eyes. I don't know that that's true. I'm just making that up, but I'm assuming.
I cannot
was-
let you mislead these people in this life. All right, we're going to call it, y'all. Y'all have a good week. Spread some love and light.
And wish Fowler a happy birthday.
And
Thank you guys for
Venmo
all.
me for my birthday. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you guys for all the birthday wishes from me last week. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to Fowler.
Woo! Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.